From a huge cliff protruded busts of 4 men, each of whom was an OCG of the village, ancient and current. On the faces, someone had painted abundant obstinacy and other nonsense. The beautiful morning sun made the vandalism reflected brighter than at any other time of the day. A boy ran across the rooftops of his town. His skin was tanned with strange mustache-like scars. Running down his cheeks, his black shirt and shorts were covered in paint, while his short golden hair flowed behind the glasses on his forehead. He was chased by an angry older boy of only 20 years old with a darker face, although simple, marred only by a scar that ran horizontally across the bridge of the boy's nose. Younger shouted, "I didn't do anything, Urka-sensei. I can't prove anything, and you can't catch me either." Irika, the aforementioned older boy, shouted at him, "Stop doing stupid things, Naruto. I've told you 1,000 times that you should stop doing stupid things all the time." Naruto replied, "Those damn rocks are public property. They don't belong to the entire village. I'm within my rights to splash flagstones with a little paint." Irika shouted, "Just because they're public property doesn't mean you can vandalize them, even if you could know. One wants to see bad words and genitals on them, the faces of their leaders, without missing a beat." Naruto shouted, "I don't care if no one wants to see them, I'll paint them anyway." At that moment, Irika accelerated and attacked Naruto. As he jumped to another roof, he caught the boy with an upside-down grip. The resistance of the Naruto's flailing arm forced Irika to start rolling until he himself was on top. As he stood up with the boy rebel tightly in his arms, he admonished him, "You just admitted it was you, idiot." Now that he was still hair of Naruto had taken his usual messy form a bit, mopping his glasses. Browse newcomer community for Vane's history. Search anime bar manga /anime bar Naruto /anime bar Naruto /more. "You already knew it was me, idiot." Irika groaned and fought more against Naruto. Naruto, to no being able to escape, let his arms weaken as he pouted. Irika then sighed, thoughtfully, gently placing Naruto back on his feet. He guided the boy to turn around and placed his hands on his shoulders, kneeling to enter himself. With his Naruto's cerulean eyes at the level of a grim expression, "Makes everything a lot easier if you confess this kind of thing, Naruto. It's just a misdemeanor, and you're just a child, so if I can tell Okage that you admitted, and that you won't do it again, we can give you laps, so you don't get scolded too much." Naruto raised an eyebrow in confusion. "What does it matter that I confessed? And anyway, you're going to lie to the old man?" Irika smiled, slightly shaking a finger, while chuckling, "I'm not going to lie to the Okage. I'm just going to exaggerate a bit that Naruto, the Okage, may not have psychic powers or anything like that, but he can tell when someone is being blatantly dishonest. I'm not going to tell him anything that isn't true, just I will make the truth seem favorable to your character." Naruto frowned. "Yes, well, I don't really care about my character. I'll just paint the stupid faces again." "No, you won't. What makes you so confident in that?" "Well, if you help me clean the monument and promise not to ruin it again, I'll buy the whole thing from you. Ramen, whatever you want for a month, a year, se months." Naruto smiled. Deal. Okage office. The current Okage, the village leader Iden Leaf, was an old man named Yuan Sarutobi. He was the third man to take office, but he signed up again for the position when his successor died. Staring at Naruto, the faces of the boxers seriously growled, "Couldn't you have at least done it to someone less honorable, or painted something less degrading?" Naruto crawled on his feet. "Well, it's like Yuka-sensei said, old man, I'm sorry, and I'll do it again. It was wrong of me to do it." Yuzin replied softly, "It's fine. Just go clean it up and continue on your way." While the village enjoyed the glow of the moon, Naruto and Irika, tired and drenched in sweat, sat down. They sat sheltered from the cold at the counter of a ramen stand-in. Behind the counter, a middle-aged man and his teenage daughter came out with large bowls full of ramen in their hands that they placed in front of their customers. Naruto quickly began to slurp it all up, cleaning his bowl desperately and thoroughly. Irika asked, "Don't you want to taste it?" "A little." Naruto, "No, why? I have already eaten ramen thousands of times, and it won't taste better if I waste my time and let it cool." During the course of the meal, Irika took a bite of his ramen, leaving Naruto, who had already finished the plate, without encouragement. He looked at his teacher, feeling a muddy puddle of thoughts inside him. Gathering the strength to speak, Naruto asked, "So what do you have on your mind?" Irika-sensei, deep in his heart, Naruto groaned at Irika's initial reaction. That stupid man sighed again. "What's wrong with him? I really did something so bad it was like Naruto was watching his own father cry." A deep-rooted shame began to take over his heart. Yuka stuttered a little, but was finally able to respond properly. "Naruto, you are a good boy. You know it, I know it. And you know that I know it. Where are you going with this? Your grades at the academy have improved. You have been less hostile towards strangers, and you have even reached a healthier weight for once. You are no longer the skinny and hungry delinquent troublemaker you used to be. You are doing very well, Naruto. I mean it." The shame in Naruto's heart was slightly covered by a blanket of relief. However, Irika's tone told him that it was not a mere conversation. "Positive affirmations?" Hesitant, Naruto asked. "But there is no but about it. What you did today hasn't made me think any less of you. I just want to know why you did it. Is this an isolated incident?" Shame slowly rose back into his chest. Naruto, his cheeks turned red as now it was his turn to stutter before giving a proper answer. "It's a bit silly. Anyway, I really want to know, Naruto, you promise me you won't make fun of me or anything like that, I swear to God. It's okay, well I did, because I'm going to regret this. Iruka waited for Naruto to respond. Iruka placed a reassuring hand on Naruto's back. You can tell me anything, Naruto, you are like a younger brother to me. The brothers trust each other. Naruto frowned. I don't want to be like a little brother to you. I thought you were more like a father or something. Why do you have to make me like this? I don't mean more to you. In a moment of understanding, the eyes of Iruka eyes widened, eyes narrowed, and throat cleared. Naruto, the specific ways we see each other aren't very important here. What matters is that we care a lot about each other. The issue pertinent is that I am worried about this. My compromised behavior, whether fatherly or brotherly. I just want to be someone you can trust with your feelings. Naruto's expression had become one of surprise. I never thought that someone would be so honest with me. He really likes me. Both to Iruka-sensei. Iruka smiled awkwardly and noted, hey, you're distracting me. All right. Naruto, recognizing his own strange behavior, shook his head and muttered yes before continuing to explain. Anyway, I was going to tell you that I'm just like, contempt washed over the boy. I'm just a bitter attention seeker, or something. Okay, the bitter dialogue made Yuka wince, but it gave Naruto room to speak. Before, when he just told me relaxed and all that people noticed me, even if it was to say I was an idiot, or if they laughed at something I said, I was glad someone recognized me, you know. And now what? Now I have done better in class, and at first it was nice. I had people point it out to me. Even Sakura complimented me for doing better, and I thought she wouldn't even look in my direction. But now that it's been a while, the shine has worn off. No one is impressed because now I'm completely average and I hate it. I've tried my best to get a score higher, but I have only reached the top as the 10th percentile, and now it is the end of the year, and the only thing left is the academy finals in a couple of days. Iruka reflected on Naruto's words, taking the time to try to absorb them. To Naruto, who started to wonder what Iruka was thinking, moved his body back to look at his empty bowl as he twirled his thumbs and gently moved his legs back and forth. Finally, Iruka opened up again. Naruto, I honestly don't know what to say. I wish I can tell you something that would make you feel better, or something you can do to make things better, but I can't. Naruto seemed depressed, dejected at the idea of Iruka admitting his own helplessness. Iruka continued, I still don't know. I still think about it, I swear. And I'll talk. We'll do it tomorrow. Keep working on your cloning jutsu. Okay, tomorrow is the last baseline, but you just need to get it right the day after tomorrow. Believe me, it's probably the only time you'll need to use the jutsu as long as you live. Naruto, will he composed himself and answered yes, of course. Naruto's apartment at night. At the top of a cozy apartment complex, there was an apartment built for 2 or 3 people. Although it was currently inhabited by only 2, when Naruto entered his place, he announced, hey, I'm home, without getting reply. Of course, Hanko isn't at home, so is there ever a caretaker who is disappointed? As always, Naruto took off his glasses, revealing the unkempt shape of his hair, while a misshapen bangs fell over his forehead, biting his forehead. Lip headed straight to the shower the next morning after completing his morning ablutions. Naruto walked out of the master bathroom and headed straight to the kitchen to eat breakfast, much to the delight of his sometimes annoying purple-haired roommate, like she preferred to be called. She was at the table. She greeted, hey Anko, good morning. With an unusually sweet smile, she responded, good morning, Naruto. I guess you're wondering where I was last night. As she headed to the table, Naruto noticed that breakfast was a real pleasure this morning. Beef, vegetables, a little honey, and a glass of hot milk. While making a glass of water before breakfast, answered, not really, I just assumed you were having your usual dose of man juice, or whatever. While Naruto was drinking his water, Anko scoffed. She joked, I actually got fed up last night. Then she added, to tell the truth, I was at work. Do you remember the promotion I got? Naruto nodded yes. While I told her, well, I'll be busy for a while, preparing the second part of the next Chūnin exams. It's my first time, and I'm very excited about it. Naruto smiled, and that's why, like a prince this morning, the old man really has to promote you a little more, Anko. He joked, there's a moment and a place for everything between bite and bite. A question echoed in Naruto's mind. He frowned and asked, hey, and how come you can tell me about this? Aren't really the Chūnin exams aren't classified things, Anko informed. In a way, it is same time I assume a lot of integrity with this position. How much that promotion put me in a high place among some of the most elite shinobi in this village. If the Okage couldn't trust me with this job, he wouldn't have given it to me. Naruto nodded again. A la company I have. While the boy continued picking up and eating his food, interjected, you're kind of a walking contradiction. You know what that means? That means half the time you're all look at me, I'm so apathetic, and the other half you get very emotional and those things. Period. So what then is a little weird? You're weird. Anko poked her nose. Naruto pouted. You no, that doesn't even make any sense. Just because I behave differently in different circumstances doesn't mean I'm a contradictory person, that it's like pseudoscience or something. Yet you continue to prove my point, how you act like a totally helpless moron. But all that talk about Sheol, whatever, clearly shows that you have something else inside that head of yours. Have you been watching those artsy character study movies again? Yeah, Naruto rolled his eyes. That explains it. I'll make sure to ignore you for a while. Hanko quickly replied, wait, now we still have to talk about those pranks you got up to yesterday. Naruto made fun of that today. She is very talkative, no we. Don't I think so? What is it? I painted some stupid stones, and then I cleaned them. Anko frowned. I just want you to open up to me, Naruto, whether you believe it or not I really do. I worry about myself, it hurts to see you worried. Naruto cleared his throat. With all due respect, I already opened my heart to Iruka-sensei. I'm waiting for what he has to say. If he says something useful, Anko sighed. Okay, the next day, Ninja Academy. Iden Leaf Naruto introduced himself at the academy with his usual school attire, a blue t-shirt, a vest, sports pants, and sneakers, all provided by the Hokage. Although in a way considered unpleasant by his classmates, they often made fun of the boy for his choice of color, since his vest and pants were an almost painfully gaudy orange. But they have gotten used to even this. He looked at everyone around him, believing this might be the last time he would see them all. Kiba Inuzuka, stupid fatherless bastard, I hate him. Shino, weird Aburame, never says a word. Hino Yamanaka, tasteless Choji Kimmichi, obese imbecile. However, his heart melted when he saw his lifelong love, and for the last half year, his tutor, the deliciously pink Sakura Runo. Man, I really like him a lot. Naruto's eyes, the girl was perfect. Every feature and expression tugged at his heart in love, even more as he approached his chair next to her. She saw him out of the corner of her eye and greeted him. Hello, idiot. Hey, Sakura, are you ready to the test? Stupid question. She's always ready. Of course I'm ready when I won't be, he joked. Anyway, how are you doing with the clone? Naruto sighed. The girl knew what that meant so bad. How really? I wish I could help. You know, it's a little annoying, but I would hate see him fail. That moment, Yuka entered the room with her teaching partner, a young man with silver blue hair, named Muki, announced. Very well, class, we will do a preliminary evaluation of your ability to create a visible, identical illusory clone of yourselves using your chakra. We will do this in alphabetical order. So prepare to hear your name being called. Naruto, being that his last name was Uzumaki, he was always the last to emerge in these situations. So one by one, Naruto watched as each of his companions created clones, visible of themselves, almost the same view. Each time both hands together to make the hand sign, a puff of smoke, sometimes colored in a clone, some much more visible, other better copies. And as usual, Sakura got a perfect score. Naruto felt some comfort because of how pink his smoke was. As the tests progressed, all of Naruto's classmates finally managed to create a clone, and thus came the part that Naruto was the only one left to take this exam, and all the looks were set on him. He shuffled his feet to the front of the room. His heart was beating faster and faster. As he got to his spot, Mizuki reported, "When are you ready, boy?" Naruto inhaled deeply, scanning the room for the first time in months. He felt something he was missing. All my classmates look at me up and down, want to know if I will be able to make a clone the same attention. He wanted the attention. He craved. A Grinch-like smile took over Naruto as he reached a conclusion. I might as well savor this for as long as I can. Naruto exhaled, then put his hands together to form a sign that looked a lot like the clone jutsu, and channeled his chakra appropriately in order to emerge in a golden cloud of disguised smoke. At the illusion of a naked woman, most of his companions laughed, but some grew in, including Sakura. Iruka, clearly disappointed, ordered sternly, "Let's go." Naruto clone jutsu. Naruto dispelled his illusion and grumbled, making the same sign with the hand that previously created another cloud of smoke, emerging this time as the spitting image of the Hokage himself. Turned to Iruka and joked, pretending to be the octogenarian, "Very well, son, you must give Naruto Uzumaki a passing grade." This act earned him the same response as his previous prank. Yuka was not impressed. He rolled his eyes and said, "Stop being stupid. We really don't need to waste any more time with your antics." Naruto grumbled, Okay. He made the appropriate signal with his hand for the cloning jutsu, and honestly, he actually tried to channel his chakra properly, only to summon a blue thing writhing and ramshackle on the ground. If it weren't for the presence of a head-shaped limb, it couldn't even be determined to be human. Yuka commented, "Tomorrow is your last chance, Naruto. You are the only one who can't do this." Technique lowers it, then followed by an announcement to the class. Class is over tomorrow. It's your final exam. Be prepared. Most of the class ran out immediately except Sakura, who made an awkward attempt to comfort her partner. She put a hand on his shoulder and said softly, "I'm sure you'll get it tomorrow, Naruto. Good luck," and left the room, giving the boy one last, almost pitiful look before leaving on her way. Even Iruka had left quickly, trusting that Muki would put his material in order, an act that did not go unnoticed by Naruto. I really pissed him off. So damn intense desperation crushed the reactionary's heart. Boy, have I been such a stupid idiot. When Yuka-sensei alone, he was trying to help me, but I wasted his efforts and Sakura's too. All that work I've done means nothing if I don't even graduate from the academy. What's wrong with me? He felt one more hand rest on his shoulder. Mizuki pulled him. "Naruto is okay. Let's go get ramen." Tower in the town. Sunset. Naruto and Muki were sitting on top of a tower. The sun was setting. "So Naruto, are you ready for that secret test I told you about?" "Yes, I just have to wait until nightfall to pass unnoticed in the old man's place and steal a secret scroll. I do that. I keep it until midnight and I graduate without needing to prove the clone jutsu truth." Mitsuki's mischievous lips curved upward as she answered, "Exactly." Lokage's office, eager to show him Lokage the plans he was working on. Anko dashed towards his office, only to discover his boss unconscious at his desk. He ran towards his leader while radioing for security teams to bring help. Medic Mr. Hokage, what happened? He checked the Hokage's pulse and let out a sigh of relief when he suddenly began to wake up on his own. Frantically, the Honing asked, "Mr. Hokage, are you okay?" The Hokage grumbled, getting up to sit up, while wiping his nose. "Bloody nose." Mind replied, I'm perfectly fine, Anko, just fine. Naruto, am worried about him. Deep in the forest of the boring village, Naruto sat at the base of a tree in a clearing reading the parchment that he had stolen from Okage's office against Muki's orders. Thunder Technique Flying Inventor Minato Namkes Minimum Chakra Level, a CCO, refer to chakra chart for leveling guidelines. Warning: this ninja maneuver should not be attempted by any individual with insufficient chakra levels. Flying Thunder is a specialized chakra traversal technique designed to give the illusion that the user is instantly teleporting from one place to another. This technique uses a band effect elastic chakra to transfer the user's chakra from one object location to another, using the chakra to effectively attract the user to the desired point. Additionally, the user can bring any object they wish as long as they have enough chakra to account for it. Additional objects instructions: the user must apply a chakra storage seal on an object. From this moment on, that seal will become a checkpoint for the user. By focusing the transfer of chakra to this checkpoint, user will activate the rubber band effect. Drawbacks: large amounts of chakra are needed to perform any part of this technique. Failed attempts due to insufficient chakra can cause chakra exhaustion, excessive weight loss due to perspiration, instability, temporary mental retardation, momentary cardiac arrhythmia, inflammation, excessive hunger or thirst, temporary loss of vision, hearing, other senses. Additional notes: chakra capacity below a can be safe if the control of the chakras is beyond a certain category. More research is necessary. Naruto's interest was piqued. Of all the scrolls he could have taken, he ended up with one written by his personal hero. The room or box. This is incredible, but I had never seen the chakra level at the child before. He had a revelation. When considering the requirements, I have always been told that I have low chakra capacity, but what if only my control is low? It would explain why I can do transformation illusions, since they need less control. That the clone swallowed. Nervously could also try it, and so without taking into account the danger, Naruto, completely dazzled, decided to try the technique. He closed the scroll, he found a log, and did his best to apply the seal. He felt a sting in his hand as he did so, which prompted him to quickly remove his hand from the trunk. He could see in the night glow that he had indeed marked the record with a series of ancient linguistic characters, along with something strange. Trunk. At first perplexed, Naruto wiped the blood off the trunk with his thumb before realizing that it was probably his own blood. Strange, considering he hadn't cut his hand at all. Naruto turned his palm and noticed that she was covered in blood from the base of her palm to the tips of her fingers. Luckily, the bleeding had stopped, so she simply wiped it with her other arm. After all, it would have been a shame to stain her outfit. Then Naruto jumped to the other end of the clearing and took a deep breath. All right, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. He continued breathing deeply, faster and faster with each breath, trying to clear his mind before trying the weight technique. What if I end up invoking the record for myself? Shaking his head, he looked around in search of a solution. He thought about it and finally came up with the idea of taking a bunch of sticks from the nearby branches and planting them at their point of origin. Well, now everything is ready. I'm really prepared for this. Beads of sweat began to drip from the boy's forehead, all the tension of possibly not graduating, stealing the scroll, betraying Mizuki's trust by reading the scroll, and all the potential devastation that flying thunder could cause surged inside him. However, I feel so alive. What is this? In Naruto's mind, all pistons were firing now. He was eager to not only perform the technique, but also to find out everything he could about it. As soon as then the idea arose to test the illusion of instant transportation. Naruto reached into the inside pocket of his vest and took out a stopwatch that Yuka-sensei had given him. His brow had been unexpectedly cold towards him that morning. Growl of anger dispelled any further thoughts of Iruka as Naruto decided to go ahead with his plan. This is supposed to be instantaneous, but in case it isn't, I set my timer to 1 minute. Fiddling with the object, Naruto set the timer. Naruto breathed deeply. He once again concentrated his chakra on the log and activated the timer as he prayed, "Take me there now." Before he knew it, he was standing right on top of the log that was now lying between his legs. He almost didn't need to double-check what he had done. He physically felt the pull of his chakra from the sticks to the log. However, a quick glance back and forth between the log and the bundle of sticks, as well as the fact that not even a second had passed on the stopwatch, confirmed it that the blonde knew deep in his heart the technique was a success. Naruto's eyes widened, and a wild smile appeared on his face as he began to laugh quietly. The silent laughter quickly turned into a manic, uncontrolled laughter at his achievement. The forest echoed with his deranged voice, echoing through the night. Anyone who wasn't wiser would think that some sort of fool had found his way to the hidden leaf. As Naruto continued to lose himself in these feelings, he was out of breath but still kept laughing. He snorted, he coughed, and fell to his knees as he lost his grip on sanity. Dropping the stopwatch, he grabbed his stomach in an effort to contain his laughter, but still couldn't stop the coherent thought. He did time that had been overcome by raw emotion, effectively emptying Naruto's mind. For the moment, tears welled up in the boy's eyes, as he himself had completely collapsed to the ground. However, not knowing how much time had passed, as in a moment Naruto stopped laughing without relaxing. No sudden bursts in or out, just a sudden stop to his attacks and howls. Naruto Now calm and breathing well, he got to his knees, then stood up. What the hell was that? I was turning crazy. A loud sigh left Naruto's body as he pushed his hair back with his hands. Worry invaded his mind as he shook his head to try to clear his thoughts. Hey Naruto, there you are. Naruto looked up and saw Mizuki in a tree above. The youngest boy begged, oh god, it's after midnight. Please tell me, please, please. Mookie snickered, yes, it's actually around 1:15. Naruto fell to the ground in relief. Oh, that's it, great, then I can graduate, right? Well, not exactly, Naruto scoffed. Cook, you said that if I stole a secret scroll and managed to evade everyone until midnight it would pass. Mizuki yawned. His smile seemed crueler every second. I lied. My heart Naruto sank. That the truth is that I made a bet with some of my friends that I could get you to do something so stupid. I'm still a little surprised that you actually did it. I should really thank you. I'm 500 or richer thanks to you. Then just give me the parchment and I will tell Leji that you got confused or something. I will tell the truth to Lokage. You can try it, but it would be your word against mine. In who is going to trust some mental or the Chūnin that is his teacher? And Naruto was slowly heartbroken. He began to cry while picking up the scroll. All that, and for what? Only to find out that I'm the biggest idiot who ever lived. What's wrong with me, stupid idiot? When he received the scroll, Mizuki commented, come on boy, it's really that bad? It's just a harmless joke. Naruto so wiping her tears with her bloody arm as she complained, you wouldn't understand. People who cry like you are just bad and stupid for the pleasure of it. You don't care how I feel. Sob. Mizuki could care less. I didn't think he would take it so badly, and no one has taught me what to do with a crying child. And what does he mean by how this little pushover is getting short on me? The man he rolled his eyes and ordered, let's go. He sent a message to his seeker, then grabbed Naruto's clean arm and pulled him out of the clearing to guide him through the forest. Meanwhile, Naruto continued to wipe away the tears that were flowing steadily, but silently, accidentally covering his eyelids. And front with blood, Naruto had always been a very emotional person to the point of bordering on stability. He had compared his emotional outbursts to a roller coaster in the past, going up and down and somehow going around in circles, but this damn minimum is pretty low on a wave. Depression ran through the walls of his mind. He was used to it, but that never made it easier. The boy was prone to strong emotions by nature, and sometimes there was just no way around it. He just tripped over his teacher, cursing his own existence along the path, while Mookie continued to communicate in his search. They finally reached the main path of the forest, and shortly after they left the forest and found themselves on a stone path in the village, it was there that nothing approached them less than Iruka, one of the last people Naruto wanted to see right now. Yuka gasped in a mix of relief and worry as she knelt in front of Naruto, sternly asked, what the hell were you thinking? Naruto, the younger boy, still completely by ear, he didn't give a real answer. He just cried and babbled. Robota sobbing and drying his eyes. A rookie confused asked, what? Mookie interrupted, got confused, something like that. Naruto momentarily broke down, crying at the silly excuse. He started to breathe deeply to stop. He caught his breath and looked at Mookie with puzzlement. Actually, that's what you're left with. How am I here? Urka was doubly confused. As Naruto pressed harder for that, you were bitterly confused, breaking the eye contact. Naruto spat, it's none of your business either. Iruka grimaced. He felt pain in his own heart as he tried to mend Naruto's hurt feelings. Listen, do you remember what we were talking about last night at the ramen stand? That yes, well, I was thinking, and I think you should know something. What is it? I was pretty much the same when I was your age, attention-hungry orphan, angry at everything. I used to lash out like you did. Why did you stop? I guess I realized that it was kind of a huge waste of my time and energy. No matter how much attention I got was never enough. I realized. Although Naruto appreciated Iruka's sentiment, he was still confused. How does that help me in the slightest? He really thinks I care that he was the same way, or something. It was then when Mookie intervened once again with urgent behavior. Sorry to interrupt the Iruka pity party, but I just got a call about some criminals heading to the forest. Whoopee. Naruto, go away to home, we will talk later. And with that, Naruto was left alone. He really believes that I will just watch them go deep into the forest. Iruka and Mookie walk carefully with Iruka in the lead, keeping their senses alert for any sound, scene, strange smell, anything that can give them a sign of where the criminals are without them knowing. Naruto had followed them all the way, sticking to the tops of the trees while he stalked their teachers. The older boys headed to a clearing and found him. They had crossed halfway when suddenly a thud, a kunai was thrown right in front of Iruka's feet. The Chūnin took a step back when three men emerged from the shadows wearing balaclavas and dressed in black. The strange men rose up about the Chūnin, seeming to ooze intimidation. The tallest and largest, clearly the leader, spoke. No Chūnin fodder was supposed to appear. The next tallest replied, his direct subordinate. There must have been some other incident here. The main target usually be the most close to this place. The third man, who stood out like a mouse among his peers, but still far above the Chūnin, did his bit. We should just kill them. He will take them out of the equation quickly, and maybe that headed bastard of Brush make a mistake. If you see the heads of your allies separated from their bodies, the second tallest added, I did not cut off the head. And then Cosmos losses to the other. The boss's voice echoed, shut up, imbeciles. You can do whatever you want with these idiots' heads after they let's catch our target. The Chūnin could only watch as they had been completely frozen by fear, But just at that moment, another kunai was thrown into the fray, this time at the feet of the main criminal. The criminals raised their guard, believing that their target had arrived. Instead, what they saw next was a small boy standing in the clearing with them. Strangely enough, no one had seen him arrive. He simply appeared. The darkness enveloped Naruto's figure, a similar blood mask to that of a raccoon his face, while a cold and burning hatred erupted from his voice. "Do not touch Aka-sensei, or I will kill you." Mizuki remained expressionless. "Oh sure, but if they touch me, I guess it's okay." Naruto turned to answer, but as soon as he did, the main criminal took out a giant shuriken. He threw the shuriken at Naruto, who was picked up and spun by a Luka. Naruto watched helplessly as the shuriken stabbed into Iruka's back. Horror ran through Naruto and Muki's spines as Yuka collapsed, letting Naruto fall onto his buttocks. Below him, the second tallest criminal brandished an axe, circling around the trio to stand behind Muki, who was still completely frozen. Muki could feel the man brandishing his axe. "I'm leaving to die. Why can't I move?" Naruto, trapped under Iruka, struggled to escape. "That Muki might be a stupid bastard, but I can't just watch him die." And our brute fought again and again without success, looked for something that anyone could hold on to thing when he noticed a familiar block of wood right behind Axe Man. This is the same sure as before. As the would-be axe murderer raised his weapon and circled his head and went into full swing, he was suddenly stabbed in the bicep. He let out a feminine scream of pain. He dropped his axe and noticed the kunai that had been embedded in his arm. The culprit was none other than Naruto. Due to a stroke of luck from Naruto, the Axeman had unknowingly walked a few meters in front of the log that Naruto had marked. Before, without missing a beat, Naruto used Flying Thunder to reach for the kunai that had just been thrown towards the leader. However, the other subordinate quickly pushed his boss out of the way, receiving the knife in the back of the head. This allowed the boss to recover by taking a step back, while taking out another large shuriken. "I won't let this little bastard get the better of us." However, before he could act, another participant joined the battle, jumping up and landing right between Naruto and the main criminal. Was a man with brush-like silver hair, a feature that further betraying his already deceptive youth. This man was wearing a mask over his mouth and nose, with his ninja headband tilted over his left eye and a standard green honing suit. He looked at the criminal with his menacingly passive gaze and actually joked, "You chose the straw that broke the camel's back tonight, my friend. How about you give up here now and save us more problems?" The criminal sighed and dropped his shuriken. He slowly put his hands behind his head and responded, "Okay, okay." Well, Honing smiled somehow with his only eye. "Finally someone listens." He blew. "Oh, come on," shouted the Honing, immediately began to chase the criminal with Naruto lying down. Without the man's knowledge, Naruto followed the older men throughout the forest, anxiously waiting for any of them make a move. "This sucks. Can't someone just kill someone already?" Naruto made the feeling known when he shouted, "Hey Brusa, do something already." The Honing responded quickly, "I can't. I had a long mission a while ago time, and I almost ran out of chakra." The criminal, feeling the opportunity to attack, began to turn to throw a kunai at the man. However, the Honing seemed to be prepared for this before the kunai left the criminal's hand. The Honing had completed hand signals that caused arm-shaped roots to shoot out of a tree, incapacitating the criminal by completely covering his arms and legs. The criminal, visibly shaken by fear, could barely utter a word. "So that's the big elite ninja Kakashi attack." NR Brute followed Kakashi as he approached the criminal, bothering. "I thought you said you were out of chakra." Smugly, Kakashi replied, "Deception is one of the best tools a shinobi can use. To be honest, I haven't had a good mission in weeks." Curiously, Naruto asked, "One of the best tools, what are the others?" Kakashi laughed at the good boy. "One of them is the simple act of no. For example, I knew that a small Aspirin gang has been harassing me for a while. Because of the times they harassed me, I knew they would try to lure me into the forest at this time of night, when they knew I would be closer to the depths of the forest and further away from any other shinobi. I knew that I was their target, and I knew exactly how they planned to capture me. The only thing I didn't do what I knew was that you would show up, although I probably should have expected the same with the little announcement of the box." And all that, Naruto started to look at Kakashi, stupefied. His ears. The criminal perked up at this espionage opportunity. Fortunately, Kakashi was still a few steps ahead of him. He looked the man in the eyes and mockingly said, "And that's all you'll get from me. However, don't be ashamed. If our roles, if they had changed, you would have gotten even less." He turned to Naruto, smiling. "As for you, you are on your way to becoming a genius, but you seem to have missed a fundamental principle of shinobi." Naruto began to think about what Kakashi meant. His mind gave circles around the night's events, looking for what vert shinobi might have missed. "Oh, Iruka-sensei." Naruto immediately turned around to return to Iruka. Kakashi smiled. As Naruto returned to the initial clearing, he heard a conversation. Since he didn't want to barge in, he decided to hide behind a tree and eavesdrop. First, it was Muki's voice. "Don't worry, Iruka, help is on the way. I just want to know why you would go that far for that little brat. It's not his blame. You're an orphan." Naruto was intrigued, but insulted at the same time. He listened as Iruka's voice came next. "You mean all that demon child nonsense? Come on, Mizuki, you also know like me that he's not actually the demon." Naruto wondered. "Demon?" Mizuki interrupted his classmate. Yes, I know kunai on a scroll. You've only said it 100,000 times, but still what's so special about this kid? There was a brief pause before Yuka spoke again. To being honest, is your perseverance, your persistence. Yes, half the village he probably hates it the most, but he's still trying so hard to get to that point where he can protect them. You want to be Okage, you know Okage, seriously, yes. And I really believe he can do it. I told him we're unsimilar. I mean, we are both unstable, but the truth is that his potential is much greater than him. I used to have the same ambitions that he has now. But I let the world drag me down, and I have given up on becoming even a Chūnin, let alone an Okage. At that time, Naruto, he was crying, breaking into silence. He started to cry, however. He managed to pull himself together quickly, waiting to hear more of the conversation between his teachers. He really thinks about me too. Mizuki continued the conversation, but you're barely 20. You can still do all those things, Irika. I know, but I don't feel like doing it anymore. And the demon child is your best option. Naruto's ears perked up. What the demon are they talking about? And how am I? Clearing his throat and straightening his back before walking out into the clearing, approaching his teachers. Noticing Irika slumped against a tree with Mookie kneeling next to him, Irika and Mookie thought to themselves while Naruto sternly asked, "What's all that about a demon?" Irika laughed awkwardly. "You heard all that, you bet you did. Now give me an answer." Irika and Mookie exchanged uncertain glances. However, Irika seemed to overcome his uncertainty easily. He whispered, "I think I should tell him, Mookie." "You're crazy, Irika. You know that's forbidden. Sometimes the law is more of a suggestion than a rule. Furthermore, he has that knowing it at some point." No, Mookie grimaced. "It's your funeral," man sighed and walked away from Irika. Naruto's pleading eyes fixed on Irika with a sad smile. Irika told him, "Naruto, obviously you know about the demon fox's attack." Nine Tails. Naruto nodded, indicating Irika to continue. "The official story is that the fourth Hokage expelled the demon from this world, basically killing him." Naruto looked at his master with narrowed eyes. "Follow the truth is that I had to seal the demon in something or someone. Why not? Reasons beyond my understanding. Decided to seal the demon inside a newborn baby." Yuka really paused. "I'm going to tell you who it was. It's good." It's Irika groaned. "I hadn't thought about what I was going to say. I made that decision on the spot. And just look at that face. How can I break her heart like that?" Naruto blinked in anticipation of what I was going to say. Irika sighed through his teeth and finally got his way. "It was you, Naruto. You are the container of the demon. That's why so many villagers hate you." Naruto bowed head to the side, confused. "UK, that doesn't make any sense. How could I be the demon? Why would he say that the demon is dead if I am?" Irika quickly corrected the boy. "No, you're not the demon itself, Naruto. Alone, you're holding it back. It's like a cue." Irika felt a dirty and annoying look from Mookie. Recovering from his words, he stated, "It's like a sandwich in a plastic box." Mizuki moaned very softly and Ruka. Naruto looked dumbfounded. After a contemplative sigh, he commented nonchalantly, "I guess that explains the tattoo on my stomach." Upon not receiving a response from his teachers, he began to feel uncomfortable. The silence above all struck a chord in his discomfort. Naruto rolled his eyes and sarcastically added, "And my innate desire to destroy every human being that crosses my path." Irika and Mookie harmonized with that, promoting that. Naruto explained. He shrugged his shoulders and told them it was a joke. "But come on, you are the adults here. Carry the conversation. You still haven't told me why the history books they say that he demon was killed." Yuka chuckled and replied, "Yes, he made a law that no one can talk about what happened that night. I guess he wanted to protect you, protect me from good thing." A good amount of villagers have been vengeful about the whole thing from the Zoro demon. There have also been some moments where you were almost attacked, so it would make sense for the Okage to make it illegal. People tell others that you are holding the demon security," Mookie added. "Probably the same reason why you live in a neighborhood decent and discreet with that haughty Anko." Naruto ignored that and concentrated on responding to Irika. "But wouldn't it be more dangerous to make that type of speech illegal? That is, it's the truth. Not censoring it only gives way to even worse rumors like a conspiracy about me or something, and falsely altering the annals of history feels like a major sin." Irika shook his head, smiling. "That's classic Naruto, always going against the grain. I really admire that about you." Then Naruto continued ranting about the holes that had found in the speech suppression law, from its semantics to its failure as legislation, and all sorts of things that were buzzing in his teacher's mind. That was until an angry female voice reached Naruto's ears. "Nothing less than Anko here, you are little brat." So Naruto ran back home with a purple ball of flaming fury following him all the way. In the middle of the night, Naruto began to squirm in bed. A terrible dream tormented his mind. In the dream, Naruto, I was stranded in a sea pure white. Although the ground was dry, Naruto noticed that his feet formed a domino effect on him. Now that I think about it, why am I naked? Naruto covered his private parts with his hands and looked around to see if could find something. He walked in only one direction and noticed that his steps sounded like a treble note on a piano. After less than a minute, Naruto decided that he wouldn't get anywhere. He stretched his arms and yawned loudly. At that moment, he felt a sharp pain in the torso, as if I had one cuts of paper in his stomach. As he doubled over, he felt blood seeping through his fingers and he collapsed from the pain. Now on his hands and knees, the blood painted the ground red as blood fell from the seal that held the Fox of Nine Tails. Naruto watched in horror as the seal disappeared, emptying into a red puddle on the ground, which then slid in front of him to take on a three-dimensional shape. Now in front of Naruto was the unseemly form of a half-sized humanoid fox. 10 feet tall, and his fur was like fire magnetically attracted to the blonde. Scoffed, "Tell me how it feels to have the fear of God taking over your heart." When the pain disappeared, Naruto let out a trail of bloody saliva as he gathered the strength to respond, "I'm not afraid of you furry tch. Why deny it? Deny that I am seriously not afraid of you. I am the spirit of the nine-tailed fox, destined for damnation. I have massacred countless people. Without taking into account their crimes, you would be foolish and discard my superiority." Browse newcomer community for Vita's history. Search anime bar manga /anime /Naruto /anime bar Naruto /more. What superiority if killing and getting a high number of deaths makes you better than everyone? I prefer to remain lame. Also, you are not the one nine-tailed fox. You are sealed inside me by virtue of the fourth OCAE. You are like my bitch. Tried to intimidate Naruto by distorting his face to hellish proportions and screaming, "I am no one's bitch. I am the nightmare of humanity." Face to face with his prisoner, Naruto just yawned again. "I don't care. Stop bothering me. Tomorrow I have a test." The fox demon gave in. "Wasteful brat, I will break this facade sooner or later." As he melted back into the ground, Naruto admonished, "I will turn you into a puddle of before you." Approached as the demon climbed up his leg and took the form of the seal again. When Naruto had a sudden sense of urgency, "I still can't make a clone." Panicked, the boy's mind was occupied with possible solutions. While performing his morning ablutions, "What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do?" After wetting his face with cold water, he gave himself some time to breathe. "Very well." He just thinks, "Maybe they will let me in to meet the flying thunder." No, but, and yes. After leaving the bathroom, Naruto returned to his room and took one of his notebooks. He tore off a single sheet that he then split in half horizontally, immediately marked both pages with the flying thunder seal. After that, he folded both pages at the size of a pebble and put them in his pockets, smiling the whole time. Naruto figured out how I would pass the test by just discreetly throwing these folds of paper on the ground next to each other. Then I will use flying thunder to transport myself to each fold so fast it will seem that there are two of us. When it comes to the smoke created by a conventional clone, I will use the transformation technique to add the illusion of an extra button on my shirt that will work deliciously diabolical. He. Upon arriving at the kitchen, Naruto found Enko eating the breakfast waiting for him. "Om ret drink, Jean Parrot Cage told me that you will receive an honorary graduation for breaking into his office and stealing the scroll. That way he said our promise in the arts." Ninja. Naruto pouted, "I'm not going to take that exam anyway. I don't want brochures. I take responsibility for my own ability." "I was hoping you would say that." Actually, Mookie said something similar. Mizuki, what do you mean? Well, he confessed that initially he intended to lie about how you got the parchment, but that your actions influenced him to be honest, even if it got him in trouble. He said the same thing about taking responsibility. No joke, Mizuki. If even he can confess that, maybe I should be a man about it. Ninja Academy all the way to his school. Naruto juggled his options in his head. Maybe he shouldn't do that jazz with flying thunder. It would be dishonest, but sure, deception is a great shinobi tool. Maybe he would be morally justified in faking it, but it still wouldn't be a shame if I became shinobi without deserving it. But Irika-sense and Sakura have worked very hard to help me get here. If I fail, I wouldn't be hurting them too. What happens if I do the flying thunder and lose my mind again like last night? They will take me to an asylum. Oh man, I wish this was easy. When Naruto entered the team assignment room, he looked at all the members of his class and others who were present for his exam. Present were his former classmates, along with a few others he was vaguely familiar of. All of them only recognized a few of the richest ninja kids who had taken advanced classes for specialized training in Nata Yuga. Weird, stuttering all the time. Shikamaru era lazy pineapple-headed moron, low energy, and lazy Sasuke Yuki, a strange asshole. Having a dead family is not a personality. Naruto encountered a personal tragedy when he noticed who was sitting next to Sasuke, blushing, and all Sakura. Now that I think about it, all the girls are obsessed with that monster emo man. This is I hope it's an uncomfortable blush and not lovey-dovey. However, the blonde headed straight to occupy the seat next to the person he liked, whose blush slowly disappeared as that got closer. Every step felt like another minute passed as Naruto looked into her eyes. Man, look at her. That clears everything up. I will definitely make you flying thunder. There is no doubt about it. If I fail, it will only show him that I wasted his time. Curiously, Naruto received a crueler than usual greeting from Sakura this morning. "Hey asshole, get your ass here." Naruto raised an eyebrow at this. It seems like he really means it. Oh, the boy sat down next to her, and she took out a piece of paper. Approaching, he showed him its contents were a strangely well-drawn diagram of the boy with type of mathematical numbers and symbols assigned to projected chakra spirals. Sakura did him the favor of explaining to him what it meant. "Okay, Naruto, I was up until midnight solving these things, but I think I finally found a way for you to do that cloning jutsu." Naruto nodded. Analyzing the diagram, Sakura grabbed his arm and urged him, "I swear to God, if you follow what I have drawn, you have a 100% of chances of getting the technique right." Naruto chuckled. "Yes, well, what's the margin of error on that?" This earned him a slap in the face from the girl, who spoke through clenched teeth. If you follow what it says 0, before leaving it take a look at the diagram. Naruto commented, "This is really detailed." He turned his head towards Sakura and smiled. "You were up until midday doing this for me." Sakura suddenly blushed again. Once again, Naruto didn't know if it was nervousness born of discomfort or affection. She stuttered, "I think it would be. It's a shame you were the only one in our class who failed. Obviously, it's not that I like you or anything like that, idiot." Naruto relented. Okay, and began to carefully read the diagram. In fact, the boy had gotten so involved in this that he didn't notice. Tells when everyone in his class took their exams and passed, he remained unconscious until he felt a sudden push from his left side, to which he responded by turning towards the perpetrator. Sakura, idiot, the supervisor is calling you. Naruto was shocked by his lack of consciousness, turned his head to see the supervisor. It was one of Lokage Asuma Saratobi's sons, a man that Naruto recognized very well, scanning the room for him, and of course that guy has a cigarette in his mouth. This is a classroom full of children, man. You don't have any common decency. Once the couple looked each other in the eyes, Suma waved at them. Come on, Naruto, you are the last. Leaving the diagram on his desk, Naruto rushed to get up, following a whisper from Sakura, "To you, I will kick your ass if you fail." The boy ran to his place at the front of the class, motivated and ready. Assume he told him, "You know the exercise clone jutsu?" Naruto nodded. Yes. First of all, he swallowed nervously. All eyes were on him. Now it was a matter of life or death. All the class was murmuring in anticipation of Naruto's success. Although they were more inclined to believe that he would fail, Sakura was seen by the boy visibly praying for his success. However, Naruto had to perform the cloning jutsu correctly. Remembering the diagram that Sakura gave him, had given, Naruto did his best to concentrate on the proper execution of the clone jutsu. According to him, Naruto closed his eyes and made the sign of the cross for the technique, feeling his chakra coils light up. The darkness behind his eyelids slowly became more yellow, the color that his chakra tended to emit. Then, with a deep breath, Naruto locked his chakra, affirming the technique he intended to use, and hesitantly opened his eyes. Behold, right next to Naruto was a visible clone of himself. The class fell silent. Eyes widened. Those who knew Naruto as the boy's success in performing the technique was a miracle worth beholding. Naruto looked back to look at his supervisor. It seems he has seen a ghost, and the cigarette fell out of his mouth and landed on the wooden floor. Isn't that a fire hazard? Naruto opened his mouth to speak and was surprised when two voices spoke. Then I passed. My clones are supposed to act like me. Assume immobile. He responded softly, "Yes, you passed. Congratulations." Both Naruto jumped in the air and shouted, "Very well, I did." Sakura felt a mixture of pride and anger, some other unknown emotions. Now there are two of him. What I have done. Naruto, without thinking twice, he dispelled his clone. He ran back to his seat in the classroom, plopping down next to Sakura, who he thanked profusely. "I owe you a lot." Sakura, "I'm serious." Sakura simply responded, "Yes, well, don't think too much about it. Alone I helped you for a." Naruto finished for her. Yeah. So your tutoring record looks good or whatever." Sakura smiled. "Yeah, sure. And who knows, maybe in a few decades, I'll be known as the doctor who helped Okage graduating. It's all a pipe dream." Not from the front of the room, Assume announced. "Very well, now I will tell everyone what teams they are on. Once I say their names, they will group up with their team in the right seats. Kin up Team 7, conveniently already at the right table, and all together Sasuke, Yukiya, Sakura, Runo, Naruto, Uzumaki." Sakura quickly saw Ino, who had been forced to stand at the back of the room to make room for a student assigned to Team 3, and stuck her tongue out at her. She didn't return the gesture. Somewhat furious, Sakura steals Sasuke. "All for you." Sakura turned and pouted. She's cool with Sasuke HP. He can bite me, but Naruto just makes everything confusing. She suddenly realized she had been glancing at her now conscious blonde teammate that he had also been making eye contact with her. She quickly looked down as Naruto unintentionally mimicked this action. "Man, it's cool that he's with Sakura. For all I care, the emo monster can sit on a sword. Not that he really hates that stupid bastard." Meanwhile, Asuma continued with his announcements. Team 8, Inada, Yuga, Shino, Aburame, Kiba, and Izuka. Team New is out of this year's rotation. Team 10, Ino, Yamanaka, Shikamaru, Era, Choji, Kai. Once all the teams were assigned Asuma, he took a long drag on the cigarette before removing it and blowing out a huge ball of smoke. Having vertigo, "I don't get paid enough for this." The class waited patiently at the man as he placed his hands on the desk and sighed deeply to make another announcement. "Very good, now you just have to wait for your assigned Hanin sense to come pick you up." Ino, Shik, Cho, you are with me. With that, Team 10 quickly left the building for the next 30 minutes. The leaders of the elite teams, they came and went, picked up their teams and left. As soon as they arrived, one by one like clockwork for a slow period of time, at the end of the first half hour, all the teams had grabbed their teachers, and all but one team had left. 7, who sat alone in the middle of the classroom when suddenly time began to seem unbearably slower. The new Gening began to feel excessive boredom. Naruto and Sakura's voices then began before each one cut off to let the other speak. Although they both insisted on let the other go first, Naruto won by convincing Sakura to go to the beginning. The ladies first, which she reluctantly accepted. Sakura cleared her throat. "Then let's get to know each other." Almost immediately silent Sasuke, with his head still in his hands, stated firmly, "No." Sakura curled up while Naruto sat with his mouth open then scoffed. I guess the powerful Yukiya doesn't inherit politeness. Sasuke scoffed. We don't inherit lateness either. Shut up. Sakura frowned. Jesus, I didn't think that would be so rude. Naruto stood up from his seat, and his face turned red as he fumed. However, Sakura quickly realized this. She pulled his hand and ordered him sit down. At least we both can talk, Naruto, he grumbled. But he obeyed. Anyway, he sat with his arms crossed, starting the conversation. So you have brothers? Sakura with his face palmed. You have been in my house, you know. I have a little brother. You have seen him hundreds of times. Naruto squirmed. Yes. I'm sorry, stupid question. The girl shook her head. In this context, of course. Why don't you try it again? The boy did the same this time, thinking what your favorite movie is. Sakura's eye twitched. You know what it is. You saw it with me that time. Naruto laughed shyly. Yes, 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 now I remember. And you stayed asleep. Hey, you told me we would never talk about that. I made the rule. I can break it. So the next few minutes passed in silence. The silence was broken when Naruto had a sudden fit of excitement. He proclaimed, "Oh, I have a very good question," Sakura warned. "If you ask me what color panties I'm wearing, I'll rip your head off." Naruto stuttered. "What? No, what kind of question is that?" Sakura replied. "Just saying." Naruto snorted. "I was wondering how you came up with all that math and stuff. So that I do the cloning jutsu." Sakura's eyebrow raised slightly as I said. "Well, it wasn't easy. I was about to tear out my hair to discover the correct proportions of chakra and all that. Still, there is something that bothers me, but I just can't put your finger on it. We're so lucky you were able to make sense of it." Naruto nodded in amazement. "That's so cool." Sakura stated. "It's not like that. I think it was really good for my brain." With a smug look on her face, Naruto placed his hands behind your head, and he leaned back in his chair, commenting, "Then I guess I should say you're welcome." Hen, not wanting to find any problem with this statement, Sakura simply sighed and leaned back in her chair with her arms crossed and smiling slightly. "Yes, I'm sure others had happened too." Hours irregular conversations filled the silence from time to time, but Naruto and Sakura made themselves comfortable. Anyway, Sasuke, as before, simply sat like a ghost, ignoring his new companions having fallen asleep. Naruto stood up from his seat, approaching the hallway to stretch. "Hey," Sakura informed, "I'm going to make our dumb sensei regret taking his sweet time." As Naruto jumped to the front of the room, Sakura followed him curiously and asked him, What are you going to do?" She stood still and watched as the boy took an eraser from the blackboard. He opened the door and placed the eraser on top of the door. She scoffed. "Do you really think an elite ninja is going to fall for something so stupid?" "I hope so." Naruto turned to look at her, and he responded, "It's worth a try. If he can't even make it in time, who knows what other flaws Morales will find in his behavior." When the new Chūnin heard footsteps approaching, Sakura motioned to him. "Hey, Naruto, get up here. He might get suspicious if he sees you." Without protesting, Naruto jumped towards Sakura, standing in the middle of the classroom with her. With the increasing volume of footsteps, the children's anticipation followed the pattern. Each and every step was like another burst of excitement. Their hearts pounded every time. Faster indeed. The approaching man pushed the door and passed right under the eraser that hit his head and covered him in white dust. The children in front of him burst into laughter. Sakura tried to control it as it was impolite, but she couldn't help it by letting go of Naruto's hand, something she hadn't been aware she was doing. She almost fell and used the boy's shoulder to support herself. As she stood up, her laughter subsided. Naruto still hadn't stopped. She pulled his shirt, and he ordered, "Okay, Naruto, I think that's enough." Naruto started to curb his laughter, but when he and his teammate looked back at their sensei, taking note of his silver hair now stained white with his uncovered eyelashes fluttering, sending them towards his face mask, they burst out once again expressionless. The man looked at the children in front of him. "You are all idiots," wiping away his tears, and finally ceasing his laughter. Naruto gave the man a look with his head brushed, covered eyes masked. "Is that guy?" Naruto complained. "Hey, Cyclops, you are our sensei." The man answered, "Yes, that's me. Now follow me to the roof and wake up the child who has fallen asleep, for the love of God." With that said, the man came out the window and climbed the wall, eager to continue with whatever they had to do. The Chūnin of Team 7 hurried up to the roof. Sasuke stumbled, dazed, still sleepy, while Naruto and Sakura ran as fast as their little legs could bear them. On the roof in the north end of the academy roof, there was a bench wide enough for exactly 3 preteen boys. The sensei took it, and his Chūnin were therefore relegated to standing in front of it, lined up the same way they were on the team assignment room. The sensei ordered, "Very well, let's get to know each other," pointing at Naruto. He added, "You first." Blonde Naruto and Sakura protested, without simultaneously. "Hey, you're our sensei, you go first." The man sighed. Looking at Naruto, he said, "We met last night, boy. No, do you remember me?" Name? Naruto stuttered. "Oh, you as a shakalaka." His classmates looked at him, perplexed. What kind of name is that? His parents must really hate him. The man corrected. "F for effort, F for everything else. My name is Kakashi." Attack continued. "I like OL Gazier. I'm reluctant to work. My hobbies are standing and breathing. My goal is good. I'll keep it a secret for now. It's your turn." "This guy is a freak." Naruto started. "My name is Kakashi." Low interrupted. No, smart mode this time. We go in reverse order. Create a feeling of balance." Naruto grumbled. "Therefore, Sasuke answered, "My name is Sasuke Yukiya. I don't like it at all. I don't like traitors. I don't have any hobbies. My goal is my mission is to kill a certain man." Sakura felt pity and worry. "I hope we can help him." Naruto was less understanding. What kind of maniac says something like that out loud in front of people in a casual conversation with people he barely barely knows to break the ice. What a sick monster. Kakashi remained impassive. He gestured to him to Sakura. Pinky, go away. Sakura declared, my name is Sakura Aruno. I like to be accepted and I don't like bad people or insects. My hobbies are taking care of my brother, jogging, surfing the internet, watching television, and studying medicine. My dream is to become a doctor and save lives. Naruto silently talked about her. Man, she's so cool. Kakashi nodded. Very well, okay, in a nutshell now, it's just you. Sakura and Sasuke laughed at the nickname. While Naruto didn't appreciate it much, he said, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. Well, legally it's Uzumaki, but I don't really know what my last name is because I never had parents and the old Sarutobi just gave me the respected name of the Uzumaki clan as a placeholder, but I can't be an Uzumaki since I have red hair too. Have you ever noticed that none of them live in this village anymore? At least not since long before I was actually born? I really like ramen, and I really like it when people pay attention to me. But I don't like it when people attack me for rudeness or other attacks. That's annoying. I don't like it either. I don't like liars, scammers, and things like that. My hobbies are learning to be a ninja and anger going nowhere. My dream is to become an Okage. I really just want respect from everyone, but since the Oki is respected by everyone, that means that I must be Okage. I have to be like the fourth Okage since I was the most respected. But I will be better. The team couldn't understand what was happening to their boy. What kind of maniac goes on and rambles like this out loud in front of people in casual conversation with people he barely knows to break the ice before his train of thought could derail? Kakashi stated clearly, now we all know each other. He ordered, there is a bridge over the river Namikaze. Yes, like the fourth Okage. No, you can miss it. Be there tomorrow at 7 o'clock for an additional test. Naruto complained, additional test? I thought we would become Genin by performing the cloning jutsu. Kakashi smiled. What can I say? You thought wrong. You are not a Genin. See, you may you receive your protector's front Genin officers. And while I live and breathe, I don't see such an item on any of your bodies. So Rio Amik Puente tomorrow at 7. Then he leaned over and whispered, be careful, you might regret having breakfast on Naruto's apartment. Upon arriving home, Naruto let out an exasperated sigh. Upon meeting Anko, who was sitting in the living room in her personal chair, she immediately asked, do you have that mischievous expression on your face again? What happened? Naruto replied, well, I approved the exam, but that crazy and one-eyed sensei says that we have to take another exam tomorrow. Anko got up. That strange sensei, it wouldn't be Kakashi, right? Naruto answered, actually yes, it is. He noticed a dreamy look on Anko's face as he continued, how do you know Oh, isn't he the guy you're doing the dance with? My god. Before Anko could answer, it's not like she needed to, since her face told the whole story. Naruto covered his ears with Lalala's fingers, buzzing as she ran to her room. In the morning next, in another part of the town, while Sakura was walking to the appointment, she was fortunate enough to meet Sasuke. But all that could change soon. She rushed over to him and said, hello, hello, Sasuke. Sasuke remained silent. Sakura decided to continue the conversation. It's not funny that we walk here at the same time. We had different schedules at the academy, so we never met except in the classes we had together. But now we will see each other every day. Sasuke groaned. Why don't you bother Naruto? Sakura sees mock me bothering Naruto is the other way around. Sasuke responded dryly, based on yesterday, I don't doubt it. He isn't known for being a bit of an idiot. Sakura responded, yes. I guess I'm pretty sure it's because he doesn't have parents to care for him. Teach right and wrong. He's never had to answer to anyone, and that's made him selfish. My parents would scold the hell out of me if I did. He did the kind of stunts that Sasuke does. He stopped. Sakura walked a few feet in front of him before she realized about what I had no intention of walking next to her. She turned to look at him. Sasuke was in a bad mood, staring at the ground. Sakura asked, hey Sasuke, why are we stopping? Sasuke's face turned into a look of hate directed at Sakura as he responded, children without parents always grow up selfish and lonely. That your parents scold you, know it's nothing. What's wrong with you? Suddenly you make me sick. I'm going another way. Don't follow me. River bridge. Namek makes the bridge over the river. Although it extended about 30 met, had a sober design. In addition to the wooden doors in each end, the stone-laden bridge had no defining characteristics that made it seem different from any other. Naruto approached the meeting point indifferently, annoyed at the prospect of an additional test, but anxious nonetheless. He saw it arrive. Sakura at the same time and greeted her. Then Sakura, what did you have for breakfast? What did he say? We shouldn't have breakfast. Didn't he just suggest it? Plus, if I need to throw up, I'll sign him up. Stupid Cyclops. Naruto, yeah, the whole Cyclops thing isn't going to be a thing, right? Such maybe, because it's going to get old quickly. No offense, it didn't take any. What's wrong with the brush head? It will continue its damn course. Maybe we can come up with one together in the next few minutes. Sasuke arrived at the bridge. Sakura fainted from him. He greeted him, hey Sasuke, how are things going? Batting his eyelashes, Sasuke told him monotonously, the parents are still dead, the teammates are still annoying. Sakura frowned. I would think that kind of response would be great if it weren't so rude and tragic. Poor Sasuke. Naruto once again showed no sympathy, scoffed, no one cares about your family. You can't just complain about the weather or something. Sasuke got upset and responded, yes, I'll complain about how nice and sunny the day is. Silly. Naruto responded, that's my period, it's sunny. You shouldn't be bursting into flames. Sasuke scoffed. At first he had been furious, but Naruto's response was almost enough to distract him from his life. Almost. Instead, Sasuke stayed quiet, trying to suppress any emotion. He's a piece of annoying, but if it's not funny, he shouldn't laugh. fearing that he was unknowingly revealing his reluctant appreciation for Naruto's vulgar humor. Sasuke tried to hide his face in his elbow and pretended to be. Then taking some distance, Sasuke walked to the other end of the bridge, leaning over the edge as if he was admiring the view. Naruto groaned, walking over to the bench in the middle of the bridge to sit. Sakura walked over and stood at the other end. Half an hour had passed and Kakashi still hadn't arrived, tired of having broken the breakfast habit, exacerbated by boredom, throbbing against her skull. Sakura felt the need to fall asleep. She ordered her blonde acquaintance, "Hey Naruto, come here real quick." "Look back," Naruto asked. "Why?" "Because I said okay." Therefore the boy let out a loud sigh and moved his butt towards the center of the bench. Sakura in turn grabbed his arm, raised it and wrapped it around his neck and leaned towards his fragile chest. "It's not the most comfortable position, but I need to sleep and I don't want to have a torticollis in her neck." He looked at Naruto to gauge his response, a wide-eyed, blushing mess, and demanded, "Don't make it weird, just wake me up when sensei bothers to arrive." Naruto cleared his throat and tried as nonchalantly as possible to respond. Of course the feeling, however, was betrayed by her heart that the ant was getting faster and faster, although Sakura realized she was too tired to care. "Hey, Sakura-sensei is here." Sakura squirmed. "How long have I been asleep?" "Why does Naruto whisper next?" After a few pushes from the younger, Sakura gave in, grumbling as she sat upright. She looked around but noticed Kakashi's absence. "Where is Naruto?" She whispered in response. "I saw him come here and then climb a tree just a few seconds ago." "Look directly beyond the center left of the door we entered through." The girl rubbed her eyes and did as she was told. "Beyond the center left are just trees." "Wait a minute, what is that black thing?" "Maybe it is not as if it were a spectrum." Kakashi was hiding on a tree branch, motionless, looking at his students. He made no progress, nor any recognition of his own existence in the eyes of his students. He just stands there threatening. Sakura broke down when Naruto made a sudden suggestion. "I should throw a rock at him." Stutter Sakura. "UK? Why, I don't know, it just seems appropriate. Plus, it's not like I'm going to throw a rock at him. I'm going to hit him with something big like a small rock." "How is that supposed to be the best option?" "He'll remember. First of all, if you throw a rock at him, a small rock. He couldn't just dodge it. Secondly, I know you're too skinny to lift a rock like that. Where are you going to find one that big? You already have me there. I'll just throw a normal stone." "You know what, just do it. Throw the stone for all I care." "Kill him," Naruto replied happily. "Okay." He jumped off the bench to stand up. While pretending to stretch, he bent down, picked up a nice stone the size of a fist, and stood up, hiding it, fixed his eyes on his target, the still motionless Kakashi, and he took note of how strange his behavior was. "What's the point of that? He literally saw that I saw him go up there." Freak. Naruto faked a yawn, then turned his head. He turned and threw the rock at Kakashi. To Naruto's surprise, it actually hit the target. The rock hit Kakashi right in the nose, causing the man to fall from the branch he was on and landed with a loud noise. Then Kakashi stood up again. Instead of responding in any way understandable to his students, simply climbed the tree again and sat on the same branch. "That's quite hopeful," Naruto responded. "Tell me, maybe it's a robot." Rolling her eyes, Sakura decided to act. She stood up, grabbed Naruto's hand, and led him across the bridge, past the door, and headed towards the tree where Kakashi was staying on the branch. Kakashi turned his head towards them and greeted them. "Hello, how are you?" Naruto and Sakura, they shouted at him. "You're late." Kakashi laughed between them. "Teeth, I am Sakura accused you said the 7 a.m. It's almost 8 o'clock now." Kakashi smiled devilishly. "I said you three had to be here at 7. I hadn't set that time." Naruto and Sakura grumble in dismay at their mind games. "Sensei," Kakashi added, "talking about the three of you, why is Sasuke still on the bridge while you two are here? You haven't abandoned the poor thing, really?" Naruto replied, "Who cares? Why is he there? You made us wait for nothing." Kakashi suggested, "Well now, it doesn't matter. What if you two come with me to take the test, and we leave Sasuke hanging?" Naruto argued that that's crazy. "I don't like that guy, but he's part of the team, and it would be irreal to leave him without telling him." Sakura added, "Yes, he has worked very hard to getting this far." Naruto replied, "No way, he's just riding the coattails of his stupid clan." Sakura shook her brow. "Stop being so dismissive of the guy. I'm sure he made an honest effort." Naruto replied, "How do you know? You weren't in the same class as him, or anything." Sakura, he quickly corrected, "We actually had honors in science together. You would know if you were smart enough to take that class." Naruto clapped his hands. "That's offensive. I'm not stupid." Sakura fooled him. "Big words coming from Mr. I can't make a stupid clone without anyone else discovering it for me." Almost crying, Naruto dared Tetu. "That's painful." The sight made Sakura step back. "I didn't want to make her cry." She relaxed, placing a hand lightly against Naruto's shoulder and raising an eyebrow. Naruto, confused by the change of pace and finding Sakura's actions unfamiliar, he shuddered. The girl put a firmer hand on his shoulder and assured him, "Look, I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings or anything. Okay, you're not as dumb as I tell you. And it shouldn't bother you to get help, especially when I proportion it are just jokes." Hearing this, Naruto started to smile. "See, jokes, yes, jokes." Now smiling like a jackal, Naruto jumped Rio and proclaimed, "Ja, I knew it, I'm smart." Sakura gave him a deadpan expression. "I didn't say that." Kakashi was tired of these antics. Naruto is unstable and seems to have some influence on Sakura. Even if neither of us know he spoke, then little Sasuke will join us or not. Naruto and Sakura, they turned to him and both shouted for of course it is. Then Naruto turned to look towards the bridge and shouted, Sasuke, bring your ass here, we are missing an emo frack, and you are the only one in the neighbors, earning one disdainful look from his sensei, and a movement Sakura's head at the other end of the bridge. Sasuke turned attentively. He looked up and around looking for the source of the screech, and quickly spotted his team among the trees. As soon as Sasuke ran towards the team Kakashi, he ordered, now that we are all here, follow me to the other end of the bridge where Kakashi had taken his genin. There was a path that led to more forested areas. Although the coast was clear, every meter of length inland led progressively to more forest. The genin they were led to an area near the coast far enough away from it that both their left and right were covered with trees. With their backs to the bridge, Kakashi faced the trio to address them. Your final test from Genin. It will be pretty simple. All you have to do to get through is grab my bells. Silence. Sakura gulped nervously and asked, grab you what? Kakashi repeated, my bells, as he reached behind his jacket and revealed two bells tied by a rope. Kakashi continued, now you can only pass if you have a bell in your possession. Anyone who does not have a bell will fail and be sent back to the academy. Naruto pointed out, there are only two bells. Kakashi answered, exactly, but the genin teams are 3 genin and a sensei. Kakashi replied, well, the teams will be reorganized according to who has died, so there will still be 3 genin per sensei. There was no way. There were 60 children in the team assignment room, which makes 20 teams. If you take a child from each team, leaves you with that with 40 kids. And you can't make teams of 3 with that because that's an even number. Kakashi sighed. That kid isn't right. Sasuke rolled his eyes. 60 is also an even number, he lamented. Sakura is right, but her reasoning is completely wrong. Then she intervened, Sensei, 3 doesn't match 40. Naruto is right. This test doesn't make sense. The man cleared his throat. We have reservations. The genin that failed get one more chance, so we just take one of them, the only one. The problem is that these genin are still being a genin. You will never be able to rank up. The children's eyes widened. In fact, your own yuck sense. And he is one of those genin. He is only dressed above his rank, because the hidden blade has had a small problem with the number of our shinobi forces. With our recent expansions that shocked him, Team 7 was now more than ever desperate to grab the bells. Immediately Naruto pulled out a kunai and threw it at Kakashi. Kakashi quickly caught the kunai between 2 of your fingers, and he scolded the boy. I didn't say you could start yet. As punishment, I'll keep this, not to say that I'll need it. With that, he opened his kuna bag and placed the knife firmly with the rest of his ammunition. By the way, I'm far above your level. You won't stand a chance unless you come at me with the intent to kill. Anyway, we start in 3, 2, 1. Sasuke and Sakura, having grabbed Naruto's hand, ran and jumped to a nearby bush. Naruto complained, what's wrong? Wanted to kill him. Sakura scolded him, while you were busy making a fool of yourself. Sasuke and I came up with the first part of our game plan. Naruto protested, I want to try it first. He created 2 shadow clones and jumped out of the bush, sending the clones to confront Kakashi. The 2 copies of Naruto stared at the sensei. Although the man was under the impression that one was the real Naruto and the other was a standard illusory clone, Kakashi complained seriously, it will take more than just you and a shoddy clone to kill them. Clones ran towards Kakashi, forcing him into battle mode. Which one is the real one? Could hit both of them and hit something solid. Kakashi stretched out his hands, and as soon as the clones were within arm's length of him, he brought them together with a clapping motion, only to discover that both entities he was targeting were solid, a shadow clone. Both clones climbed up Kakashi's arms to his biceps. One clone began to attack his vest while the other began to bite him. Kakashi easily managed to get rid of the biting clone, forcing it to dissipate. Then he grabbed the other one. He lifted it up and threw it into the air. As the clone fell, Kakashi put his fingers together and shouted 1,000 years of death. He pushed the clone in the anus, only for it to also dissipate. 2 clones of shadows. Damn, that genetic genius. Turned around, scanning his surroundings to find his genie. Unfortunately, everyone was missing. Kara had been following Sasuke all over the forest, pestering him about a new plan. After a few minutes of this, Sasuke made it clear that he had already had enough. Let's separate. I'm tired of listening to that nonsense of yours. Although hurt, Sakura obeyed without saying a word. While Sakura continued through the forest, she saw a familiar silhouette in front of her. She approached to confirm her suspicions and discovered that her assessment had been correct. Hey Sasuke, it's curious to see. Here she happily jumped towards him, noticing with each jump that something was wrong. He is bleeding. Scared, Sakura ran closer to him and asked him what happened. Sasuke's skull was bleeding profusely, and he was covered in dirt. When Sakura reached him, she took his hand. At that moment, a cloud of smoke replaced him. Before Sakura was now none other than Kakashi. The girl fainted from shock. Sasuke walked along a beaten path until he turned and found a clearing. It's like I'm the only one on this team who's sane. I'd run away if I didn't have to kill Itachi. He saw Kakashi right in the middle of the clearing, just standing there and reading a book, and the bells are there. He gave small steps forward, slowly tiptoe across the circle, his eyes fixed on the prize, his vision focused on the bronze ornaments. Sasuke stretched out his arm ready to grab the bells. His index finger made contact, then his middle finger, then his ring finger, then his thumb. Then he put his fingers together to hold the bell, but just before he could control it, Kakashi turned around and pulled the boy's arm up, keeping him on the ground like he was mistletoe. Kakashi joked, I thought there was a fly behind me. Change is something much more annoying and much less welcome. Sasuke, He wasted no time and kicked the man right in the midriff in the area that was left unprotected by the honing vest. This forced Kak to drop him, kneel, and hold his chest in pain. Damn children. And their low blows, they're going to be the death of me. Sasuke tried to run and grab the bells, but Kakashi quickly grabbed his leg and made him stumble before rolling in the opposite direction and jumping. Sasuke growled in frustration. He was faking the injury. The boy hit the ground and stood up once again. Without wasting time, he began to make signs with the hands. Kakashi recognized the signs and decided to fight fire with fire making. The same signs, both shinobi formed an O with their hand in front of their lips. Kakashi had to momentarily take off his mask, and they breathed fire through the mouth. The fireballs converged into a pile of smoke that Kakashi ran through to grab Sasuke. Sakura had woken up and was stumbling through the forest looking for Sasuke. That stupid Naruto, how could he just abandon us like that? He came to a clearing and noticed a kind of bump in the area as he approached. Chills ran down his spine. That's a human head. He got a little closer to make out the face and was horrified to find out that it was Sasuke, screaming. He fainted. Once again, Sasuke sighed. I'm buried underground. Naruto sat on top of a tree, sweating buckets. I have a good chance at this. If I don't do it right, that smart monster will notice, and I won't have the bells. I can do this. He took a deep breath to calm himself once he felt his heart rate drop. He knew he was ready. Naruto disappeared from the tree. While Kakashi jumped through the forest, he heard a jingling behind him. That's strange. He stopped on the ground and felt his belt in search of the bells. He discovered that somehow it was they had gone. What, how, who? Kakashi turned around trying to locate one of his geni. He looked for footprints and found none. When he found it all a little curious, he cut his thumb with a kunai and hit the ground with his hand. A brown pug dressed in a shinobi outfit appeared in a cloud of smoke. Kakashi asked, "Hey, can you smell like someone other than me here?" The pug fate the air and answered yes, but it's strange. What's strange? There is only one place where another person dropped his smell, but the smell doesn't go anywhere. It's as if he just appeared and then disappeared into thin air. Kakashi reached into his pocket and pulled out the kunai he stole from Naruto. Don't smell this. Tell me if it's the same scent. Paken did as he was told and stated, he's partially masked for yours. But yes, this is Kakashi. Replied, you can go now, thank you. And the pug disappeared into another cloud of smoke. Kakashi inspected the kunai. It cannot be unwound, the tape from the handle, and was stunned by what he saw. This jutsu in the same tree from which he had disappeared. Naruto held the bells in his hand. Enters and come out, honey, that's what I'm talking about. He took the Kuna flying thunder out of the tree. Now I wonder if I'll be scared again later, just like it had happened 2 nights before. He started laughing maniacally just like the last time he did the flying thunder. All sanity left his mind. Only now he was armed with a kunai swung at him. No matter what, he hit where he was going, and he even almost fell out of the tree. The mental pause felt like it had happened faster, as it was now a more familiar experience. When he came to, he saw that he had cut off his arms by mistake. Oh great, I did. A Sasuke sighed deeply and stood up with the aim of finding his companions to show them the bells. Sasuke and Sakura walked around the forest again. Sasuke covered in dirt from neck to toe with the hands, and Sakura's knees covered in the same way. They both wore misery on their faces, lamenting their failures against Kakashi. They found a pond where they washed their hands in cold water. Sakura splashed her face, hoping to remove some of the tiredness from her face as tiredness and hunger washed over her. As she stood up, Sasuke complained, what are we doing? Genin cough against an elite ninja? That's impossible. Sakura agreed, yes, it's really strange. It's like he doesn't really want it. We would receive the bells. The genin's eyes widened as they both shared their revelation simultaneously. This is a teamwork exercise, Sakura explained. It was so obvious. The most important fundamental principle of a genin team is to work together in difficult conditions, and by giving each other just 2 bells to chase, sensei gives us an incentive to work against each other, forcing us to follow the fundamental principle even at our own detriment. Sasuke chuckled and ordered, let's find Naruto and do this. However, it was Naruto who found his teammates. He stumbled to the pond singing, look what I have, while showing them the bells. Sakura's eye twitched. She reported, Naruto, we were supposed to work together to get them. Naruto stuttered, oh well, we can just lie to sensei and tell him that you guys came up with the plan. Sasuke replied, how did you get the bells? The test was designed to be impossible. Naruto backed away. Well, I'm going to need you guys to keep a secret. Pretty big. Sakura asked, what's the secret? The blonde admitted, it's a long story, but the bottom line is that I learned a simulated teleportation technique that I used to catch these things and disappear. Sasuke scoffed, no way. Idiot, show us what. Naruto squirmed, I really can't do that. It's embarrassing. He pressed, embarrassing? Just show us the technique. If you're telling the truth, Sakura intervened, forget it already. If he doesn't want to show him, he doesn't have why do it right now. We just have to find a way to trick Kakashi-sensei into truly believing that we all made the plan together. Naruto asked, how is that? We can't just tell him and get it over with. Sakura replied, because he will ask us. How do we approach the issue of dividing the bells? 2 bells, 3 genin. We have to make him believe that we solved it as a team. Naruto groaned, damn, sensei is always playing with people. Sasuke admonished, complaining about it won't help. He kicked rocks while Akura ignored him. The only way all lets pass is if each of us is willing to not let others pass as a demonstration of our care for our team. Naruto hesitantly suggested, if that's the case, we should we all try to assume blame her and tell her that we'd rather fail than succeed to the detriment of our teammates. Sasuke scoffed. That's crazy. Sakura swallowed nervously. It's crazy, but it's crazy enough to work. Oh man, Kakashi decided to recover at the beginning from the test site. Fortunately, the Chūnin had the same idea. Kak was spoken first. Very well, I know that Naruto grabbed the bells. Who gave it to the other? Sakura took over. Actually, Sensei Naruto offered to give it to Sasuke, and I, after a few minutes of circular discussion, decided that none of us was willing to let another fail. So we are all failing. She threw the bells at him. Naruto asked, hey, how did you know it was me who took the bells? Kakashi replied, you were sloppy. Naruto, I used one of my tracking dogs to match the scent of the canal I took from you with the scent you left behind when you caught the bells. And upon examining the canal, I found out exactly what technique you used. So, not only did you leave that your enemy discovered your best jutsu, but also that you lost the mission by returning the bells to me. This test has been a failure. Everywhere I am disappointed. The Chūnin thought that Kakashi would congratulate them for their teamwork and his care, but it was not like that. Sasuke was about to speak, but Naruto pinched him and whispered, remember, he could be playing with us. Kakashi ordered, okay, follow me. Plains. Kakashi led his team to a slightly elevated flat area surrounded by forest like a peninsula. Surrounded by water, the shape resembled a ping-pong paddle with the handle heading towards the path. They were approaching. Kakashi sat his Chūnin with some stumps a few meters away to use as seats, placing Sakura in the middle with the boys on both sides, taking out lunchboxes from a fourth stump to give them to everyone. He told them they must be hungry. Stay here and eat this while I go and tell him that they failed. The Chūnins felt their anxiety skyrocket. We are really going to fail. Everyone exchanged nervous glances and shakily opened their lunchboxes. With that, Kakashi turned and started walking down the path. Once he was out of earshot, Sakura insisted to the boys under his breath, wait guys, she's lying. She has to be. Sasuke's breathing began to become shallow. Unless we've thought about this too much. Naruto shook his head. This is excellent food. I wonder if he cooked it himself. I need the recipe. Sasuke and Sakura looked at him perplexed. Sakura asked, we seriously have at our careers as Chūnin, and you are worried about rice? Naruto smiled wistfully. I don't quite remember. We are only supposed to fear God. You know, anything he allows to happen happens. There is no point in worrying to death. Sakura Taro, okay, you sound like the preacher of my monastery, but you're right. All we can do is wait and see what God wants. Sasuke mocked, the will of God. Tell me, what kind of God would let me look helpless? How they cut my parents' throats. Everything is a. Sakura was silent. Naruto responded with disdain, man, even if I told you, you wouldn't understand. Forget I even mentioned it. The Chūnin ate their lunches in silence. After a while, Naruto, he said, okay, I'm doing Tang. I had a big breakfast, you know. He offered one of the two. He wants a lunch eaten in a room. I promise it's not I've been careless or anything like that. Sakura accepted. You know I'm hungry. Give it to me. Does Okage office a row of Hanin sense and was in the room shouting the status of their teams. The Okage asked Team 8 Kurenai, a woman with long brown hair and striking red eyes, responded, pass. Very well. Team 10 Asuma stepped forward. Let's try. Well, my son, well, that only leaves us at Team 7, whereas Kakashi Kurina and joked late as always. Sometimes I wonder if he was on time to his own birth at that time. However, Kakashi intervened. Asuma joked, talk about the. Kakashi announced, just so you know, Kurenai, I was born a year late. Kurenai rolled her eyes, knowing him that's not even a joke. The Okage asked Kakashi what's up with Team 7. When Kakashi returned to the Team 7, noticed that they were talking. As such, he announced his presence. With a strong attention, the Chūnin stopped talking to giving him confused looks. Sakura spoke, this is not the army, sensei. Kakashi responded, yes, I know, but I thought you would be interested in the gifts I have to offer you now. Intrigued, the Chūnin looked at him with wide eyes. Naruto asked with excitement, what gifts? Kakashi revealed 3D also. Blue with metal plates with the hidden leaf symbol screwed on. You have all passed. Congratulations. The children surrounded Kakashi, but he held back the headbands for a moment. He ordered, first I need you to remember something. A shinobi who abandons his orders is not a shinobi at all, while a shinobi who abandons his comrades is scum. Repeat it for me. The Chūnin repeated, a shinobi who abandons his orders is not a shinobi at all, while a shinobi who abandons his comrades is scum. Kakashi smiled and handed them all their headbands, which they enthusiastically placed on their foreheads and squeezed in pride at their achievement. Fed their joy while each Chūnin smiled. Kakashi told them, from now on, every Monday to Friday, we will meet at the Namek Bridge as our meeting point at 8 o'clock. Then he added, now let's get off to a good start, one that shows that you can trust me from now on. The Chūnin were all ears as he spoke to start everything. That reserved Chūnin thing was a lie. At least failed Chūnins don't work like I said, and your friend Yuck Sense is definitely a Chūnin. The team did breathe a sigh of relief. Thank God. Kakashi continued, now when I met Naruto in this test, he performed 2 techniques than any other Chūnin. No, Naruto was puzzled too. I thought it was just one. He almost laughed. No, when you sent your clones to attack me, I noticed they were definitely shadow clones. Naruto was puzzled. Shadow clones? But Sakura, you made the diagram. What I used to do it. He looked in amazement at the dumbfounded girl. Kakashi smiled. Well, it seems that Sakura has inadvertently taught you the shadow clone technique. an advanced form of the clone technique that creates solid clones that have a strongest neural link with the technical. While Naruto and Sakura stood there open, Sasuke asked, "So what's the other jutsu?" Kakashi smiled again. "It's not my secret to tell, Naruto will explain it to me if you're comfortable with it." Naruto stuttered, "Oh, yes, then that other technique is the flying thunder you made by the fourth Hokage last night. I was tricked into stealing a scroll containing it, and I read it. I'm pretty sure it's beyond my level to perform consistently, but I'm capable of do it well enough to go back and forth between two places in a short period of time." Kakashi winked at him. He thought it looked like he was blinking. "It's just one bomb after another today." Not said this, he turned around and started walking away without, however. Before walking away, he said, "By the way, I know that you three were lying about coming up with the plan to gather the bells." Sakura sat on a bench FOSA internally with her eyes closed and her head thrown back. She swung her legs back and forth. "No, I can believe that Naruto is so stupid, deceived. So easily stealing a scroll from the drawer, don't you? Come to ask me for help, stupid, stupid, stupid." An hour ago, she had reprimanded Naruto and stormed out of the test site. How did I call him again? Careless, short-sighted, reckless, naive, and stupid. I hope, okay, after all, that you really shouldn't feel bad. You don't take into account your own safety. She sighed, frustrated. But of course, if she hadn't, she would have gotten the bells. Not that we needed her, they will pass. So if it had not been left cheating like that, if he hadn't learned that jutsu, and if he had just listened to Sasuke and we would have passed anyway. But even if he learned the jutsu, why didn't he stay with me and Sasuke? He really is reckless." He bowed forward with his hands on his knees, looking down. "I guess it was really sweet of him to get the bells for all of us, and told us that he didn't want us to see what happens when he does that technique." While I was furious, what could be so terrible? It sounded as if I was afraid. She blinked wistfully. "Whatever, she was just trying to distract you, Aruno. Think of thoughts other than Naruto. Comfort yourself." As such, the girl tried to clear her mind as a way to de-stress. Browse newcomer community for betas. Story search anime bar manga bar anime bar Naruto bar anime bar Naruto bar more. Imagine if Sasuke appeared and said something like, "I don't know, you have a noble forehead, I just want to kiss it." The joy invaded her while his vivid imagination gave him a sense of relief. In that moment, someone approached her, feeling the presence. She opened her eyes and looked up to see none other than Sasuke, standing in front of her with indifference. He said, "You have a noble forehead, I just want to kiss it." Just kidding, it doesn't sound more like something Naruto would say. Sakura pouted. "Now that I think about it, it really is." Sakura asked, "Hey Sasuke, what's wrong? I want to talk. Come closer, please." "Sure." Sakura stepped aside, allowing Sasuke to take a seat next to her. As strange as it may seem, Sasuke, it seemed nervous. He kept silent and just stared at Sakura as if he was scanning her. Sakura coughed. "You wanted to talk?" Sasuke stuttered that one. "Yes, I was wondering, what is your opinion on Naruto?" "My opinion? Yes, what comes to mind when you think about he? What do you think of his personality?" Sakura cleared her throat. "Well, I think he's a little careless. I have the feeling that he takes advantage of being an orphan to do pranks." "What kind of pranks? Do you already know how to desecrate the monument to Cage?" "Yes, that was pretty stupid, I guess. I'll leave dropping that eraser on Sensei's head. I mean that it was funny, although you even laughed at it. How about he disguises himself as someone else to get my opinion on him when he could ask me directly?" Sasuke stammers, "What does it mean?" "That's what." Sakura rolled her eyes at. "I know it's you. Naruto, stop acting." Sasuke sighed with a puff of smoke. Naruto revealed himself as really Naruto, with his cheeks red with shame and an oppressed expression. He asked what gave him away. Sakura answered, "Many things, such as the fact that Sasuke was asleep when you made a joke to Sensei. Besides the thing about you liking my forehead, Sasuke would never say something like that other than that you still had that whole accent going on." Gross. He was taken aback. "Accent? Yes, accent. You sound like a child version of the man nameless who is a guy from some old Western movies. I'll show you later, but I digress. I'm sure even you would have realized by now that I wasn't being serious about the whole taking advantage of being an orphan thing." Naruto didn't respond. Sakura pressed harder. "Worried you knew he wasn't serious, right?" Naruto sheepishly turned around, looked down, and started twiddling his thumbs. "Well, not really, not although I was willing to accept it. I'm a little annoying, and it probably wouldn't be that much of a problem if he had parents." Sakura reluctantly put a hand on his shoulder and approached him and said, "Hey, I know it may be a little annoying, but you're not a sinister little orphan." Naruto intervened. "Who said something about me being sinister?" The girl squeezed his shoulder and spoke with his teeth tight. "That's not the point here." Naruto straightened up in an attempt to regain his confidence. "So what's the point?" Sakura sighed. "The thing is that you're not as bad as you think." "I think look, you have this idea how bad I think you are is true. Yes, what I'm saying is that you're not really as bad as that idea. So what do you think of me?" "I really don't know. You're not the bane of my existence, to say the least. Well, but that doesn't mean that I like it how you liked it." "Oh." Naruto collapsed, looking down. "It's nothing I didn't know, but it still hurts me a little to hear it." Sakura looked to the side and admitted, "I don't like to say this, but for a long time, I didn't have any opinion about you. Your existence was like an open secret. Everyone knew you, but no one knew you personally, and they certainly didn't know you. So I didn't want to form an unfounded opinion. Then I met you and I thought you were some kind of person who never does well, you know." Sakura turned to Naruto, and he glared at him. "Look," she ordered sternly, "look at me, loser." With shy eyes, Naruto obeyed and met her gaze. "When Yuka-sensei suggested that I be your tutor, I was really upset. I only accepted the offer because he promised extra credit. But And I will break your neck if you tell anyone. I've grown fond of you ever since. The excitement took over Naruto. His eyes widened as he formed a hungry smile. He stood up to kneel on the bench as he stood. Leaning towards Sakura, he looked really, are you really serious? Sakura chuckled, yes, bask in your glory. Then she ruffled his hair calmly quickly as she said softly, and I appreciate what you said about my forehead. It was really sweet. As she went down, Naruto's arm slid towards Adam and grabbed it. He swore every word was sincere. In fact, I like everything about you more than anyone now. Blushing, Sakura gently took his arm away and said, that's really flattering. Then she demanded, that line on my forehead, say it again as yourself this time, Naruto. He froze, he choked, see, well, it's not easy. Look me in the eyes and say it now. Naruto obeyed and squirmed. Okay, you have a noble forehead. I would really like to kiss it. That wasn't so bad, Sakura. She stood up and said to Naruto, I'm going home now. But before doing so, she put a single hand under his chin to turn his face, preparing him for the soft kiss. She gave him on the cheek, leaving him completely stupefied. She noticed his attention fixed on her and sang, I'll kill you if you tell anyone. As he began his walk home to the wealthy urban district, Sasuke approached a pristine, luxurious glass apartment building, a symbol of the great wealth of the Hidden Blade, particularly of the Uchiha and other elite clans. People passed through the neighborhood not only on foot, but also in motorized cars. Such was the abundance of wealth in Sasuke's house. During the last years, the building had a large plaza with a fountain in the middle whose centerpiece was a stone bust of the symbol of the clan Uchiha, the names of the victims of the Uchiha massacre, so that each day begins with their names in the sunlight, were placed on the east side of the fountain. With his back to the complex, Sasuke hated it. Every time he saw it was just a reminder of what he had lost that many others had been allowed to keep. Of course, the massacre hadn't even made the slightest dent in the clan's numbers, but Sasuke lamented every day that his parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, and friends were the ones who had lost his life, and that as far as everyone knew, the hand of his older brother. Every time he saw the monument, he abandoned the Lord, wishing it had been someone else's family and friends. He had even turned to God in supplication, praying that somehow his family and friends would return, or at least just his parents. However, such a thing never happened according to Sasuke, because God had arranged it for him, or it did not exist. Either of the two was a pretty good filler, although poor for the attempt. Sasuke's apathy towards God, how he despised both that monument and the occasional swarm of journalists and papyri. Sasuke had chosen the back door as his preferred method of entry. He headed straight from the entrance to the elevator. He stuck a key in the hole above it, the buttons, and sent him to the top floor of the attic. When the elevator doors opened, Sasuke entered and was greeted by his legal guardian Shizu, Uchiha, one of the most reputable Uchiha, also one of the only capable Uchiha in the shinobi ranks. Hello, afternoon, Sasuke. How did your exam go? Sasuke complained, my teammates are annoying and my sensei is a better bastard than I expected. Go take a shower and we'll hang out or something. I'm making your favorite for dinner. Suburban area, Sakura's house. Sakura jumped to the front steps of her house, a two-story house with ample space for her family, and something else, used her heart-shaped key to open the door and entered with a cheerful greeting of I'm at home. While you take off the shoes immediately, the mother of Sakura, Mebui, a thin woman, who almost looked like her if it weren't for the thinner jaw and short wavy hair, jumped up to meet her. There you are, princess. She joked, Daddy's not home now, you're trapped between Naruto and me. Sakura chuckled, I'm going to take a shower, don't wait up. While Akura ran up the stairs, Mabuki shouted, and when you come back, tell us how the test went. Honey, Naruto's apartment. When he arrived, Naruto shouted, Anko. I'm back. To what Hanko replied, let's go. Naruto joined the fun. Naruto took off his shoes and ran into the living room to see what Anko was talking about. To his horror, she was playing Just Dance with Kakashi. Naruto complained, first you ride Anko, now you invade our house. Where does it end? The madness, sensei. Without breaking away from the dance, Kakashi responded. He was not aware of the idea that it should end. I don't even know when it started. Naruto grumbled to okay, whatever. But can you tell me how you got to the point of throwing yourself? Anko doesn't make sense to me. Kakashi replied, you know the movie When Harry Met S? Yes, she is Harry. IMS. Naruto sighed. I'm going to have to get a straight answer out of him. He didn't turn his attention to Anko and ordered, Anko, I need your help with something. Still dancing, Hanko answered, no now boy. I haven't completely kicked Kakashi's ass yet. However, instead of waiting, Naruto decided to act on his impatience. He approached Anko, grabbed her arm, and entered her room with her in tow. After entering, he yelled at Kakashi. It didn't even occur to you to listen, disgusting. Before slamming the door, Anko asked, very well, Naruto. What's so urgent? Naruto told her, I need some advice for a girl. Anko smiled, you know very well I'm all ears. So what do you mean? And a girl says that she'll break my neck if I tell anyone she doesn't hate me. The smile disappeared when Anko asked what it means. Yes, I heard you the first time. Why? She also said she would kill me if I told anyone she kissed me on the cheek. She's a weird girl. Naruto objected. Hey, Sakura isn't weird. Anko snapped. Firstly, it definitely is. Secondly, now he has to break your neck. Thirdly, you were talking about your classmate. Sakura is not obsessed with emo boy. Naruto muttered. Don't tell him I said anything, please. And yes, she is hung up on him. As far as I know Anko sighed. Very well, this is my advice. Be assertive next time you see her. Tell her, listen, girl, I won't play these games with you. If you really like me, you have to promise me you won't break my neck, nor kill me. That should get things going in reality. Yes. Really, now let me go back to playing with Kakashi, please. Don't put it like that. Sakura's house afternoon. Sakura's father, a skilled businessman named Kizes with a goatee and hair. Now up to his shoulders, he lowered his hands, stares in a t-shirt and sweatpants. After having taken a shower after work, he noticed that his wife and daughter dressed more or less the same way, gestured for him to enter the dining room. Walking towards them, he looked out of the room and saw his 8-year-old son watching TV before joking with the girls. Let's have dinner early, Mabuki answered. You wish? No, Sakura just wants advice about a certain boy now standing with the girls maybe, and asked the troublemaker or Elmo. Sakura rolled her eyes. White as Naruto, his father snickered. Well, I prefer that one anyway. Sakura cleared her throat. Now let's get to the topic at hand. Mibuki told her. We are all ears, the girl informed. Well, it's just that Naruto gave me a very sweet compliment today. He said that my forehead is noble, and that he wants to kiss her. Mabuki intervened. I didn't think it would be so bold maybe, and asked, well, Sakura, how did that make you feel? Sakura answered, it felt very good. She was very warm and fuzzy inside, but it's Naruto. Maybe, and he advised, say it again, but skip the last part. Sakura reiterated. She felt great. She was all warm and fuzzy inside maybe, and suggested, isn't that all that matters? Despite how reluctant you've been to connect with that boy, you feel good with him. Act accordingly. Mibuki admitted, your father and I were equal, and actually at first I couldn't stand it, but he won me over with his special kind of charisma, his voice soft as butter. It didn't hurt either. Sakura smiled, her voice that gives me an idea. She apologized. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you, Dad. Then I'm going to go invite Naruto here. The adults watched as Sakura approached the house phone in the living room and called Naruto. Yes, Naruto, it's me. I was thinking if you have nothing to do, could you come? Yes, I know we don't have to study anything anymore. I'm just inviting you, like, good as a social thing. We can see one of those westerns that I was talking about with the man with no name. Yes, you can come now. That works. Okay, join us for dinner. Also very good. See you soon. Bye. I hope I don't regret this. When arrived, Naruto was dressed in a white shirt and black shorts, a bold choice for the increasingly cold nights of Idenlef. Was greeted warmly as Sakura and her family had become accustomed to his presence. As he took off his shoes and entered to the room, he asked, hey Sakura, we can talk in private very quickly. Sakura answered, Kusi, of course. What is it? Naruto asked. Really, you weren't going to kill me right? Sakura answered with her own question. Did you tell someone about our conversation? Naruto closed his eyes and begged, only my caretaker, and by accident. Please don't hurt me. Sakura replied, I was joking, Naruto. I'm not crazy enough to kill you, you know. Very well then. What's the movie we're going to watch? Sakura replied, for a few dollars. Plus, the guy I was talking about is the main character. By the way, his nickname is actually Blondie in the third movie. So that's another way you're like him. Naruto pouted. Yeah, okay. So Naruto, Sakura, and her family plopped down on the couch to watch the 2-hour movie too. Sakura's surprise, her disdain for Naruto, turned out not to be a problem. In fact, it hadn't even crossed her mind. For once, she was having fun, shameless and unequivocally with Naruto. At one point, their hands even touched as they both reached for popcorn at the same time, prompting quick apologies. Although neither of them really cared yet, Sakura felt like she could accept feeling more comfortable with Naruto being the source of her insecurity. It seemed to get strange for the moment. They told me to hunt the next day. To the surprise of Naruto and Sakura, Kakashi arrived early for their meeting. The man was waiting for them when they arrived. They had noticed that he was lost in a book, but he remained calm. Standing in one place as if it were a statue, the genin decided to approach his sensei. Seeing the book that Kakashi was reading, both Naruto and Sakura shouted, pervert. It was an obscene novel titled The Most Complete Exam by the famous author, Pervert Jiraiya. Kakashi looked at his students with indifference and said, reading is good for the soul. Sakura responded abruptly, well, I read that those types of books destroy your mind. So, and covered her ears with her fingers while she took out the tongue at Kakashi and criticized him. Naruto added, yes, what she said. Kakashi sighed, closing his option while Sakura finished, teasing him, reported, very well. As soon as Sasuke gets here, we will undertake our first mission as Team 7. Naruto jumped up and down. What missions? Kakashi added, missions rank E, just things like sowing seeds and caring for lost pets. We're not even stopping crimes. Naruto deflated. Oh, lame. At that moment, Sasuke appeared on the bridge, bored and expressionless as always. However, he also blurted out a slight gasp when she saw that Kakashi wasn't giving his team a second thought. Sakura automatically blushed as a result of her crush on him, but she felt her stomach turn at the same time. Why Sasuke? Always makes me feel so weird. An hour later, Naruto spoke through a radio. Target in sight. Repeat, target in sight. Next course of action. Team leader change. Sasuke responded first by saying, stop talking like a dumb fool. Kakashi ignored this and replied to Naruto, have the element of surprise, wait until we get to a vantage point. While he, Sasuke, and Sakura were trying to get a good vantage point on their target, they suddenly heard Naruto shout into his headphones, I got you, little one. Oh no. I don't you be me RHH stay. Still they ran towards him and discovered that he had subdued the target. Naruto told them the cat of a minister's wife, as ordered, flaunted the black cat in his arms that made a bad-tempered face for not having been able to escape from his garrus. Kakashi low scolded, I told you to wait. Naruto argued, I was going to wait, I promise, but the cat started to suspect me, so I had to act quickly. Kakashi relented, okay, I'll accept it. Let's take this to the Okage's office. Now the Okage's office. Okage Team 7 and the Okage watched as a now disheveled Naruto handed the cat to a chubby lady, the minister's wife, saying, oh thank you, who my sweet little Soken could never survive in the harsh desert of the town. Naruto responded sarcastically, oh yeah. It's not like cats are natural predators or anything like that. The Fire Lord's wife responded, well, Mayim is not a precious baby who is only destined for the luxuries of domestic life. Naruto looked at her up and down and joked, he is clearly not the only one saying this. The lady left the office. The cashier praised the team. Good job, Team 7. Here is your payment for the mission. Kakashi received an envelope. He opened it, revealing a huge wad of bills. Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke were all excited. That's a small fortune. While flipping through the cash, Kakashi reported the minister's wife cares a lot about his snow. Comes, we were lucky to get this mission. Then he took out half of the money and put it back in the envelope. That's my part. After all, I'm the leader of the team. The Okage chuckled. Kakashi then took out half of what was left and gave it to Naruto. For your trouble, he stated. Naruto frantically took the money and placed it in his trusty frog wallet, making him. Your team snickered at that childish thing. Kakashi then divided the rest of the money equally between Sakura and Sasuke. Sasuke complained, how come we earn so little? Kakashi told him, if you want to earn more, you have to be more proactive. A week later, the team stood on the clear path next to their meeting bridge in front of a set of tall trees. Kakashi told his genin today's lesson, walking on walls. He nonchalantly approached a tree, and without missing a beat, he walked along it. His side as if off level ground, he continued walking until he found a branch in his path and chose to walk towards that branch, also now hanging upside down from it. He asked, does anyone know how to do that? Sakura volunteered. She explained, it's obvious, you simply have to regulate the chakra in your body to balance the chakra in your feet with the surface you wish to walk on. Kakashi challenged him, then do it. Sakura deflated, I had never tried it before. Kakashi chuckled, I had never tried hanging my mouth before down, but here I am, try quickly before the blood runs out in my legs. Naruto urged, come on Sakura, I know you can do it. Sakura responded, if you insist. She jumped towards an adjacent tree. Without touching it, in her hesitation with a prayer, slowly raised the first foot to step on his right foot, as he had been taught to do, while concentrating the appropriate amount of chakra in his soul's god. I hope he did well. Boila, his foot stuck to the tree. As if it were firm ground, he raised the other foot in the same way with the same result. Step by step, he walked 10 feet towards the tree, and then thud, Sakura landed on the ground. Kakashi commented lightly, oh yes, I forgot to tell you. It's not a nice go. Sakura responded sarcastically, yes, thanks for telling me. Kakashi, he replied jokingly, you're welcome. Naruto decided to try walking on the trees. He ran towards a tree. He put his foot on it and only found himself pushed back. Kakashi fell to the ground. He stopped him from falling, and he announced, that's what happens when you use too much chakra. He watched as Sasuke. He tried the same maneuver, only to not be able to grab the tree. He told him, that's what happens when you use too little. Sakura, now sitting 20 feet up on a tree branch. Naruto shouted, Sasuke, what's wrong? I am. And he stuck out his tongue at them. The boys began to climb their respective trees. After a few minutes, Naruto approached Sakura, who was sitting at the base of her tree. He asked, hey Sakura, can I get help please? She answered, yes of course. The boy, he knelt and whispered, how I can climb a tree? Don't let me. Sasuke listened. Sakura in turn laughed. She whispered in Naruto's ear while he felt and smiled. Hours later, Sakura with her hidden headband was walking down a sidewalk in the middle of the night, holding a large and expensive bag and shaking it as if he were showing it. Just as he passed by a streetlight, two men on a motorcycle passed at low speed. The motorcycle was a basic vehicle, with its unique seat being a wide strip of leather with no place to rest the feet nor obedience to the steering rules of the bicycles, but used triggers on the handlebars to turn. A man jumped from the vehicle while the other continued driving at a good pace. The man who jumped tried to snatch Sakura's bag, who resisted. Meanwhile, the man on the motorcycle continued at a good pace down the street. Sakura demanded, it's not yours. Give it back. While the thief barked, give it to me, bitch. Then he pushed her to the ground. Although she was saved from a serious injury by protecting her head, she whispered, very well, Sasuke, get ready. When the thief, he was approaching the corner of the street, and suddenly he stumbled. Sasuke was hiding behind the building and stuck out his leg to stop the man. He quickly jumped on his back, tying his hands, while the man yelled at his accomplice, get out. Here, save yourself. The man on the motorcycle accelerated, tripling his speed to escape from the Chūnin without him knowing Akuna, and passed over his head. Out of nowhere, Naruto appeared behind the cyclist. Pulling his shoulders, the cyclist stepped on the brakes, causing the motorcycle to stop abruptly as he and Naruto fell to the ground. Naruto quickly summoned a dozen clones, one of which helped him tie up the rider, while the others stopped the motorcycle from going too far. Naruto and the rider landed directly under a streetlight, while the rest of Team 7 passed by Kakashi, picked up the cyclist, and ordered Sasuke to take these guys to the station. When they began to drag them in, Kakashi noticed that Naruto had not gotten up. Worried, he gave him a nod. Gesture to Sakura, who approached Naruto, knelt down, and asked Naruto, "Are you okay?" The boy's breathing was shallow and unresponsive. Upon closer inspection, Sakura noticed that he was also sweating too much. Trying to stay calm, she put her hand on his forehead and started to panic. She screamed, "He's on fire in this weather with those clothes." She unzipped Naruto's vest and was about to cut off his shirt when suddenly he was startled and woke up. Sakura gave him a shake kiss. "So it was all an act. You didn't have me very worried, you know." Scream in pain, Naruto explained. "Yes and no. It wasn't an act, I swear. The light started to hurt me." Suddenly Sakura withdrew her hand and looked at the light. She reasoned, "Do you think which has an effect on your chakra reaction?" Naruto answered that yes, it got into my eyes and gave me a headache. Combine that with the jutsu I used. Sakura kissed him. Again she scolded him, and that's why we don't use techniques that are above our another level. Weeks later, Team 7, 8 and 10 were in the office cage, sending his first monthly reports. As the autumn months had arrived in an already cold year, everyone was dressed in light jackets or coats, as well as longer pants, except Naruto was adamant that until he really needed it, he would continue to wear his short-sleeved shirt and his vest. All the Honing sensei were betting on when that would be. The Hokage announced, "It seems that everything is in perfect order. It is very possible that you will perform C-rank missions in the next quarter." Naruto complained, "No, I'm tired of all these menial tasks and petty crimes. I want to do a rank C." The Hokage rolled his eyes. He asked Kakashi, "What do you say?" The Jamin he addressed in turn asked Sakura and Sasuke. "Of course I have my own opinion, but do you think you are ready for a C rank?" Sakura and Sasuke looked at each other for confirmation before looking at Kakashi and affirming, "Yes, we are." Kakashi smiled, turning to Hokage, "We are ready, Lord Kage." Yusin, although puzzled, he took out a folder. "I trust your instincts, Kakashi. This will be your mission: to escort Mr. Tazuna to Yuin, to his home, the Land of Waves, while ensuring that his property is not damaged. Then you will supervise the construction of a bridge that he is building. It is already in the final stages." He held down a phone button on his desk and ordered his assistant to bring Mr. Aono, please. A few seconds later, the office door opened. An elderly man of about 50 years old entered, his hair gray and his beard unkempt. Goat populated his worn sunglasses with laziness, and his simple rags gave the impression of a poorer man. He drawled, "I'm here." Mr. Naruto whispered to his team, "Why are you dressed like a hobo?" Sakura whispered to him, "Maybe he's trying to be a Christian, you know, using his money for himself, only for the things he needs, using the rest for his people." Tazuna dragged his feet around the office, and when he bothered to pick them up, he put them down with a thud and empty. When as he approached the desk, it became evident that he was carrying 2 large canvas bags in hand and a camping backpack. Sasuke clarified, "He walks more like an animal than like a Christian." Tazuna answered, "Yes. What's the difference?" Although Sasuke smiled, Sakura answered, "Hey, it's not nice to talk about people that way alone because he doesn't share their beliefs." Tazuna moaned. He made a fuss about the cross necklace he was wearing, pointing at it without his hands. "Yes, well, hiccup, I'm one of them. What do you have to say about it?" Sakura crossed her arms and pouted. She told him, "I don't feel like you to play these stupid little games. I have this guy as my sensei." While making a gesture to Kakashi, Naruto, feeling left out, intervened. "Yes." Old man Tazuna turned to Yusin and asked him, "Wait a second, is this the team that will take me back home?" The older man answered, "Yes, they are." Meet Kakashi. It takes Sasuke, Yukiya, Sakura, Runo, and Naruto. Uzumaki. Tazuna sighed hesitantly, Okay, I'll take them." The next day, Wall of Hidden Leaves. Tazuna greeted the Team 7 outside the village wall, still holding their bags from the day before. Team 7 also carried backpacks filled with their clothes for the stay in the country of the waves. Tazuna told the team, "Very well, to start, we will walk a few kilometers outside the town to the transportation that I have prepared." Naruto asked. "Transport?" Tazuna answered, "Yes, it's one of those motorized carriages." The blonde was encouraged. "A carriage? Seriously? It's great. I've never been in one before." Sasuke commented, "I think you're the only one." Naruto answered, "It's not my fault. I'm poor. Also, I'm sure Sensei neither has been on one." Kakashi responded shyly. Well, Naruto looked at him with puppy dog eyes and complained. Sensei Sakura gave Naruto a pat on the back and added, "It will be a lot of fun, I promise." The group had only walked a mile from the village when suddenly chains emerged from the forest. They wrapped around Kakashi and squeezed him, breaking his bones and making him fall to the ground. Sakura froze. She screamed at Sensei. At that moment, Sasuke stood in front of her and attacked an approaching man using a boomerang to knock him out with a blow to the back of the head. Naruto also froze before the other attacker could do too much damage. Kakashi appeared in a blur, twisting his arm and breaking it. The dead Kakashi on the ground disappeared in a cloud of smoke, revealing himself to be a shadow clone from the beginning. Sasuke mocked Naruto and said, "What's wrong with you, Scarlet?" And the insult made Naruto come back to his senses. As he took a step back, he responded in and "No, I was just surprised. That's all." Although he feigned stoicism, the guilt was it took hold of him deep down. Be it why I froze like that? What if someone really died? What if Sakura got hurt? What kind of shinobi shrinks like that? Moron. His heart sank, and tears even they threatened to spill out. That's when Kakashi said, "Wow, I think you've been poisoned, Naruto. I think we have to take you back." Naruto looked around and saw that there was blood flowing from the back of his hand. There was been cut off in response, stammered, "No way I stay." He pulled out a kuna, and he stabbed his hand under the wound, hoping to get the poison out of his system. Sakura screamed, "Idiot, you could have made things worse." As he got closer, however, after cleaning the wound, and when he took out a bandage and got ready to apply it, he saw that the bleeding had already stopped. How Kakashi also saw it, and without knowing it, he shared a thought with Naruto. That must be the power of the Nine Tails. Naruto chuckled, trying to cover himself. Haha, he must be a fast healer. Sakura replied with curiosity, "Well, maybe whatever clan you come from has quick healing like their Kek Hinkai." Tazuna asked, "What Hinkai?" Sakura rolled her eyes and replied, "Certain clans have a bloodline cap that gives them abilities that others don't have. Yukia have the Sharingan, the Yuga have the Byakugan, etc." The old man joked, "What kind of nerd says etc. out loud?" Sakura stuck her tongue out at him. Kakashi sighed. He looked at the attackers he had been tying up and explained, "These guys are the demon brothers of the east coast of B-rank rebel ninja team." Tazuna swallowed nervously. "Well, what do they want with you?" Kakashi frowned. "They weren't chasing us. There is no advantage for these guys, nor does it fit their modus operandi or their intelligence to attack the team." Ordinary Jonin, Naruto, and Sakura complained. "Hey." Kakashi ignored them. He walked towards Tazuna and said, "They were chasing you, aren't they?" Tazuna stuttered Tazuna, but he quickly realizing that he had no choice but to confess. He told the team, "I had to buy materials, not I had enough money left to pay a rank." Kakashi grabbed Tazuna by the neck and lifted him up. He demanded, "Explain before I hurt you." Tez obeyed. "As you know, my company is building a bridge in the Land of Waves, but we're ruled by a damn oligarch. The Land of Waves used to be a prosperous sovereign land, but then Cat bought out our politicians and took the helm for himself. He's been brutalized years, and the bridge I'm building in collaboration with the Land of Tea is the path of the wave to escape from the cat's claws." Kakashi released Tazuna, letting him fall. The young man looked at the sky in deep thought before turning to his team. He asked, "This mission has just been upgraded to rank A, and it may increase. We are sure that we will meet more dangerous guys then. These clowns want to continue." Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke looked at each other, communicating only through eye contact. They looked at Kakashi again and said, "Yes, Sensei." Tazuna heaved a sigh of relief. Over the next 20 minutes, the group reached their first stop. At this point, the dirt road was blocked with a short concrete and steel barrier giving way on the other side to a paved and asphalt road. On the left and right ends of the road, there were short lines of black cars with wheels and a closed roof with front motors to propel them. Tazuna led Team 7 to one of these cars using a key to open the trunk, in which the group proceeded to place their suitcases. Then Tazuna walked towards the right side and opened a door, allowing him to enter the back seats. Sakura entered first, and Naruto was about to jump out, but Sasuke stopped him, saying, "I got dizzy. I need to sit in the middle to keep my balance." Naruto argued, "I don't care. Throw up out the window." This prompted Sakura to warn, "Don't be an idiot. Besides, a window seat is better than the middle one." Naruto groaned and complained, "Oh, okay," and decided that he would let Sasuke sit in the middle without any problems. Though instead of immediately entering the Sasuke vehicle, he returned to the trunk and took out a thermos. While sitting in the back seat, he explained it as ginger. "It helps relieve motion sickness." Naruto muttered. When Naruto entered the vehicle, he closed the door. Then the Jonin waited while Tazuna opened the hood, started the engine, started the car, and closed the hood again before getting into the passenger seat with Kakashi at the wheel. Although Naruto was gone, sitting next to Sakura, he was still enjoying the ride. "It's so strange, relaxing. It's crazy, like everything seems to pass slowly through a window, but when I look at the other side, everything seems fast, and the little bumps and waves almost feel like a little roller coaster. I was missing it." He verbally expressed his joy, talking to the other side of the car. "Hey Sakura, you were right. This is amused." Sakura replied, "I know it's true." "And you?" Sasuke turned to look at Lukia, but he was clearly sick. His skin looked pale and greenish, and he swayed from side to side. The boy placed a firm hand on Naruto's shoulder, pleading, "Take me close from the window. I need fresh air." "Naruto," he complained. "Oh, so now you don't want to sit in the middle?" Sasuke covered his mouth with his hand and grunted, "Don't move, idiot." Naruto planted his feet. "No." Sakura moaned and grabbed Naruto's forearm. She lifted him up, giving Sasuke room to move, and pulled the blonde towards the middle. When Sasuke opened the window and hyperventilating, Naruto, worried about Sakura, pushed against her, getting a view of the outside through the window, and inadvertently crushed his face against it. Sakura fought him and escaped. She grabbed his head, and she pushed down under his chin, then locked him in place, keeping her arm around his neck as she forced him to hunch over so his feet still touched the ground. This gave Naruto a view of the window. Without crushing Sakura, Naruto cleared his throat and timidly told her thanks, to which she gritted his teeth. "It's my pleasure." Mid-afternoon, the group arrived at another car station where Tazuna returned the vehicle he had rented. After this, they got on a boat. Was small, but large enough to fit all of them and their bags. Sasuke faced a similar problem of motion sickness, which was exacerbated by the severe and almost freezing weather. Although reluctantly, Sakura clung to Naruto to share Naruto's body heat. He didn't protest, as he was starting to feel tired, and he actually liked being so close to her. Although Naruto tried to resist, his breathing slowly slowed down. The day isn't over. He should stay awake. Naruto's plans, however, they suffered a further attack when Sakura tightened her grip on him. Strength to close any space between them and make the most of body heat being that the last straw. Naruto sank into Sakura's neck and fell asleep, Right there on her shoulder, an inadvertent effect of his actions. I don't have skin on the back is very warm. I would almost say it's nice like this, she commented. Suddenly there is so much fog and cold. What is this? Tazuna whispered. Yes. It shouldn't be so cold here. There must still be some anomaly that we haven't detected. Chills began to run down her spine, a feeling that he was sure was not just due to the cold. The fog was thick, making it difficult to breathe, as if they were on the top of a mountain. Kakashi remained silent and simply continued rowing the boat. When the ship finally reached the desired shore, Kakashi ordered in a low voice, "Very well, let's get up. Something is strange. This is a densely forested area that we are going to pass through, but the first 30 m of land is like an arid ramp." Tazuna and Sasuke followed him as Akakura had to wake up Naruto. She rocked him gently and whispered loudly, "Naruto wakes up." It didn't work. She tried to shake him, but it didn't work. She tried to slap him, but even that didn't work. In the end, she decided to carry him on his back. He had gained some weight, but he was still unusually thin for his age. Then as Kakashi carried Sakura and Naruto's bags, Sakura held Naruto and carried him. Piggyback down the road, however, before they could reach 50 met inland, Naruto was stabbed in the shoulder with a kunai. The force made him fall forward, knocking Sakura under him. Fortunately, she had also woken him up. He stumbled up, pulling the kunai off his shoulder, but suddenly he was knocked down by Sakura. She had just saved him from being decapitated by giant shuriken. The wound on Naruto's shoulder healed quickly as he sat up and saw that Kakashi was standing in front of the group, protecting him. The entire group was ready to fight as the Chūnin quickly formed around Tazuna to protect him, brandishing their kunai. When a part of the fog dissipated, a shadowy figure became present and stepped forward to reveal his form was a darker man. Although his skin was pale, his hair was short, black, and unkempt. Perhaps most notable what about him was that he had wrapped himself like a monkey around his torso, passing the bandage around the top of his head to form a mask over his mouth and nose. In addition to that, he had a huge sword in his hand, almost resembling a kitchen knife, large size, placed in his back, and wore a protector on his front with 3 crossed-out lines. Kakashi was hit by flashbacks of the last hour, the sudden cold, the humid air, the fog. Now everything makes sense, but something still feels wrong. He tried to hide his departure. He should have known on the ship. Zabuza of the hidden mist raised his headband, placing it evenly around his forehead, revealing that the iris of his hidden eye was red with black, comma-shaped marks surrounding his pupil. Zabuza responded, "Kakashi of the Sharingan Eye. I don't have any problem with you. I just want a bridge builder. Move aside." Kakashi refused. A shinobi is loyal to his village. I swore to Okage that this man will arrive safely and saved his house. Zabuza scoffed. "I remember when I was still this naive, trapped in the customs of blind patriotism. You are no better than a child who believes in fairy tales." Without warning, Kakashi ran towards the man before disappearing in a cloud of smoke followed by water as he reappeared behind Zabuza with a kunai on his neck. He warned, "This is the end of the road." Zabuza chuckled. "How curious. I was going to tell you the same thing." At that moment, the land up to the point where Zabuza was sank, giving way to the water that rose from below. Simultaneously, Kakashi stumbled and found himself trapped in a water bubble in front of Zabuza's hand. Zabuza smiled. "Water prison. Jutsu, you fell in love." Kakashi's eyes widened. He was keeping the water hidden underground. "But how long do you forget that I need to save my team?" Kakashi shouted into his radio outside. "From here, take Tazuna home. Just go." Sakura and Sasuke were terrified, but Naruto stood his ground. He responded defiantly on the radio. "Hell no." Kakashi yelled, "Idiot. Do you realize this is insubordination?" Naruto yelled at him, this time to the bubble. "You said it yourself, Sensei. A shinobi who abandons his mission is not a shinobi at all, and a shinobi who abandons his comrades is scum." To solidify his point, Naruto took off his headband and threw it to Zabuza, who caught it with his free hand. Kakashi shuddered. "What are you thinking?" Then Naruto summoned a large number of shadow clones, which led Zabuza to summon a single water clone and handed him his sword. Every Naruto ran towards Zabuza's clone, but they were all destroyed with a quick swing of the sword, clouding the battlefield with smoke. When the smoke cleared, Zabuza was perplexed. A child of that age knows about shadow clones. Besides that, where the hell is his intuition told him to look back, and as he did so, he saw Naruto in the air after having multiple shuriken thrown at him. Zabuza was about to raise his free hand to block the shuriken with a technique, but found his arm being pulled down. He instinctively raised the hand that kept the water prison in place, using it to create a wall of water to block the shuriken, inadvertently releasing Kakashi. Naruto fell into the water, while his team looked on in amazement. Sakura, in particular, was stunned. Naruto actually did all that. "What is this feeling?" Kakashi smiled with pride. "In a few seconds, he came up with a crazy plan like that to free me. He really is his parents' son." Kakashi slid back into the water, creating space between him and Zabuza, who did the same. When Zabuza was sliding back, he discovered that the culprit for the lack of mobility of his free hand was a shadow clone that Naruto had made that managed to hide until he found the opportunity to grab it. "What kind of weird kid thinks so fast?" "Be the clone of Zabuza." Water. He threw the sword at him and dissipated, while Zabuza himself destroyed Naruto's clone and sheathed it on his back. Naruto sat in the water and watched the battle unfold. "I just wish it wasn't so cold." Zabuza began to form A long series of hand signs chanting their names as Kakashi jumped to imitate him after completing dozens of signs. Both men summoned dragons from the water. These dragons wriggled around each other before collide in an immense splash that rained on them and on Naruto. Fortunately for Kakashi, the force of the dragons knocked Zabuza down, giving him enough time to grab Naruto and push him towards the rest of the group, while he himself fought with Zabuza. Stumbling Naruto managed to pick up his headband. As Naruto stood up, he almost collided with Sasuke, but was saved again by Sakura, who knocked him down, and he fell again. When Naruto looked up again, he saw that Sasuke had been hit by multiple knees in his chest. As he fought Naruto, Sakura dropped her headband, and he pulled Tazuna's leg to make him fall to the ground and help him stay safe from more needles. Naruto climbed the trees and saw a second shadowy figure before he could chase the figure. Naruto, Sasuke's boss, GZ, and Naruto finds the man who killed my family. Naruto panicked. No. He can't be dead, he's just delirious. He didn't choose to chase after the shadowy figure he saw, and the figure seemed content to confront him as he descended to the ground in front of Naruto, without, however, before that they could fight. Zabuza shouted, "Aku, retreat." With that, the figure jumped back into the trees and disappeared while Zabuza did the same with the fog. In the blink of an eye, the fog around the area dissipated. The blue sky was vibrant and the sun was approaching the horizon. Naruto watched as a battered and exhausted Kakashi limped towards him. He ran towards Kakashi, then took his hand to guide him towards the group. That was when the initial shock of it all he disappeared and Naruto remembered what had just happened. Kakashi, with more strength to reach Sasuke, who was still lying on the ground. Sakura was hugging him and crying, begging, "Wake up, Sasuke, please." Tazuna watched, standing, cursed Kakashi, let go of Naruto's hand, and silently gave him permission to go to Sasuke. Naruto jumped up and knelt down, checking his pulse. "He's cold and I don't feel anything." Sasuke suddenly spoke, "Let me go." With his eyes half closed with teary eyes, Naruto obeyed him and dropped his arm. He got up on the ground and wiped away his tears, crying, "Let's go." Already at this drunk's house at the end of sunset, Team 7 and Tazu arrived at their destination. They had walked through a wooded area to the porch of a house on the outskirts of the city. The door opened and greeting them was a young woman with black hair, along with a small child hiding behind her leg. Tazuna greeted them. "Good night, Tsunami." The woman responded, "Good night." Tazuna looked at the team. He saw Kakashi and Sasuke battered, held by Naruto and Sakura. "Your safety," the old man laughed between teeth. "Two of them are sick. They don't look like much, but they are honest." Naruto pouted. "What do you mean, not much?" "I don't just." Sakura nudged him. She gave him a look that told him to stay quiet, and he assumed it was to not scare the boy. So Naruto continued, "I just picked up a bag that you dropped, and that you would have forgotten." Tsunami opened the door to let everyone in while Kakashi ordered, "Don't bother preparing dinner for me, or for my black-haired companion. Let's sleep. He is already in front of me." And that a few hours later, after having showered Naruto, Sakura, Tazuna, Tsunami, and Tsunami's son sat at the dining table. Sasuke and Kakashi had been moved to a small room of guests to rest. The dinner of tonight, it was rice and dumplings. Tsunami said, "I should excuse myself. Normally, I prepare something more elegant." Sakura was quick to respond, "Don't be, this is good food, right?" Naruto nudged the blonde who was at his side, whose eyes suddenly they opened like plates. His mouth was full of food, so he did his best to swallow quickly and affirm the feeling. As soon as he did, he said, "Oh yes, my tutor Anko taught me how to cook, but not even me, I can do it too. This time I tried to make rice and dumplings, but I served them and made the rice." The group laughed, forgetting about their problems for a while. Browse newcomer community for Vita's history. Search anime bar, manga bar, anime bar, Naruto bar, anime bar, Naruto bar. More. After dinner, Tsunami offered and proceeded to take the plates and clean them. Tazuna got up and went to the living room, leaving Naruto and Sakura alone with Tsunami's son, who was sitting on the other side of the table. Naruto then asked, "What's your name, boy?" The boy answered, "My name is Inaria Ono. I'm 10 years old." I don't like you." Inari accelerated his chair and ran up the stairs. Naruto and Sakura stared at each other. That was strange. Simultaneously, they got up from their chairs and Naruto followed Sakura, went to the living room. They saw Tazuna sitting on the couch watching TV and told them, "By the way, kids, I told Tsunami on the phone to prepare the guest room for you. So if you don't like local TV, you can watch some movies." Sak bowed, "Thank you, Tazuna," and took Naruto upstairs as they found the guest room they had been assigned. Naruto was surprised at how spacious it was, as was Sakura. "This is even bigger than my room. There is even a couch and a coffee table here." The genin left. Fall on the couch at the foot of the bed, primed and ready to watch the huge television whose speakers were booming. They flipped through the channels: soap opera, soap opera, soap opera, opera, boring movie, boring documentary, boring cartoon, terrible sitcom, terrible infomercial, static, static. What a terrible day to watch TV. Naruto tugged on Sakura's sleeve. "There's nothing to see." Sakura rolled her eyes. "I know, but it looks like Tsunami left us some movies on the shelf next to the TV." She got up and walked towards the shelf again with Naruto following him. "The movies available." The notebook. She turned a devilish smile as she decided, "We'll see this." Naruto protested, "Come on, it looks like cheesy garbage." Sakura argued, "Well, I don't see you choosing a movie." Naruto groaned as was carrying out his own search. Terminator 2's extended cut. Naruto made the movie on fire. I want to see this, Sakura grumbled. Well, but only after we watch my movie 2 hours later. Sakura was crying out loud. Sound of the nose with a tissue is so beautiful. Naruto was not impressed. If I ever find myself acting like that guy, I'll jump off a cliff into a bed of nails, Sakura scoffed, wiping away her tears. Anyway, let's watch your nonsense favorites with pleasure. 2.5 hours later, Naruto and Sakura were crying out loud. Sakura. She handed a tissue to Naruto, and they both blew their noses. It's so beautiful, Sakura shouted. I wasn't that touching, Naruto added me. Either around midnight, Naruto and Sakura were lying in bed. Although they were both on completely opposite ends of the bed, no physical contact, a demand made by Sakura, although they were both in pajamas and with the large fur blanket that had been provided to them, and although the windows were closed and the heat in the house was on. It was surprisingly cold. Although Sakura hid it so as not to embarrass herself, Naruto shivered. He openly stated the absence of a healthy amount of fat on his body was undoubtedly working in his favor. To its detriment, everything got even worse when Sakura, approaching the sleep state, tore off the blanket to monopolize it for herself. The dilemma that Naruto now faced was whether he should tell him and risk a reprimand or suffer in silence. In the sub-zero temperatures perceived in the land of waves, he opted for the latter. There is no point in getting angry, right? So the boy resolved himself to the cold, curled up, rubbing the sides of his chest. Shivering again and again, he could feel the wind entering every open space of his outfit, circulating all over his body, and leaving only to be replaced by an even colder wind. I can't take this anymore. He swallowed his fear and jumped to turn around. He hadn't expected to be face to face with a Sakura of looking very stern. He laughed sheepishly. Then, I guess you're awake, she looked and answered. Yes, obviously I turned around a while ago, and I noticed that he had taken off your blanket. I'm sorry, Naruto insisted. No. There's no need to be sorry, just give me my side of the blanket. Not that it would do anything bad if don't do it. I want say stop thinking too stupid that. Yes, of course. After they returned the mana to Naruto, he asked, then you said you had turned around a while ago. Why didn't you return the blanket? Then Sakura's cheeks blushed when he answered, I think he wanted to see if you would say something he was going to give it back to you. Anyway, oh well, then I was right to turn around. No, I do like people who approach their problems like that. Now Naruto's cheeks turned red. Oh, so you liked it? We already talked about this. I don't, goats, and I won't crush your skull, okay? Maybe I could have said something better than that, Naruto pouted. Damn, Sakura changed the subject. Anyway, it's so cold tonight. I was thinking maybe it wouldn't possibly be inappropriate that we share the heat of our bodies. Naruto stuttered. Oh yes, of course, I fell asleep on the boat. That's why. No, Sakura laughed. Yes, you did. She moved a little closer to the center of the bed where Naruto had found himself after his dramatic change. She clarified the throat. Remember, never we should talk about this with no one else unless I say so. Naruto nodded. Yes, of course. The usual treatment. Sakura then put her arm around Naruto's shoulder under the bed while placing the other under her other arm, then pulled him into a hesitant reflex position. She pulled him closer, causing a small EP from him, making both cheeks redder somehow, and he took a deep breath. However, his hopes of sleeping soon were crushed by the hammering of his chest. Naruto versus hers, she whispered. Hey, calm down, I'm trying to sleep. Naruto drowning in embarrassment, he squealed. I don't know how. Sakura ordered. Take a few deep breaths and don't say a word about this. As Naruto did as Sakura told him. Made a remark about his posture. This boy's entire body is stiff as a board. Why does he still have his guard up? She subtly verbalized her concerns, whispering. Naruto calming down includes the act of not freezing like a clam. Without understanding the metaphor, Naruto responded, how not? I could be frozen in here. It's like -1,000,000,000°. Sakura let out a loud sigh. This is going to take a while. She expanded. I mean, it doesn't seem to me like you're relaxed at all. I don't get it. OMG. Just get out of here. Her sad. Sakura felt Naruto's realization. As he jerked unexpectedly, she let out a short, tense moan before going completely limp. He squealed, I'm at your mercy, Sakura. Sakura laughed, warming the boy's heart. Naruto felt the day's tiredness melt away. That I went through took hold of him, man. How is it that it takes all that to make me so tired at that moment? Sakura, without realizing it, gave him the fatal blow. She closed the gap between his body even more, and his as she wrapped her leg around his to fix them in place. Sakura then took the liberty of catalyzing Naruto's descent by lightly rubbing his back with her open palm. This led to the consequence that Naruto's mind went completely blank, now sinking deeper into Sakura's shoulder, giving him mixed feelings. Well, I'd be lying if I said this wasn't comfortable. Naruto, on the other hand, felt something much simpler. Man, I really needed this. Sakura is a gift from heaven. For the first time in a long time, Naruto had a fruitful dream. When Sakura woke up, her vision was blurry. The red sunlight was streaming in through the window, and she felt a warm figure that she was clinging to in her blind comfort. She stuck her nose into the large bag, squeezing it tighter. That bag so nice and warm. Wait a minute. Since when I sleep with a bag? He rubbed a little scab in his eyes with the knuckle of his thumb as he began to remember what had happened the night before. Well, it's not a warm bag, but a warm person. Sakura diverted her attention to the wall, analyzing the clock. 6:30 a.m. Thank God, I don't need to be out of bed for a while. She looked again at the boy in her arms. She looked at Naruto for a while, admiring his soft features. She noticed that his hair had been growing since it's been a while, since it's been cut, and it's approaching the awkward phase. It may be annoying, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't adorable. Something about the fact that it's so vulnerable. Sakura talks to me. She raised her hand to gently remove a strand of hair that had reached Naruto's forehead. However, when she actually moved the hair, he woke up with a start. Sakura was just as surprised as Naruto, who stared like a siren for a few seconds before realizing where from he was sleeping. Hugging Sakura, this one goes to the memory banks. He asked that Sakura, what time is it? The girl answered, go back to sleep, Naruto. It's 6:30. We don't need to be awake for a few hours. He went back to his previous position, ready to go back to sleep. Unfortunately for her, Naruto had other ideas. He squirmed and turned around, so his back was now facing Sakura. Without saying a word, he crawled back and grabbed Sakura's arm, guiding it around her waist like a belt. Security, and then hugging him before quickly falling asleep. Sakura was dumbfounded. Idiot. I didn't say you could do that. Later in the morning, while Naruto and Sakura, having completed their morning ablutions, put on their day clothes, Sakura took advantage of the opportunity to ask, hey Naruto, do you remember how I accidentally woke you up earlier? Naruto was perplexed. He responded, I haven't slept completely since last night. No. Sakura responded, no, you don't care. It doesn't matter. It's not important. Naruto continuously, I pulled her arm and bothered. Come on, tell me. She snapped, I said it's not important. Okay, stop being stupid. Naruto grumbled, oh okay. Then I'll go bother someone else, and he stormed out into the hallway, running on tiptoe. Sakura shouted, Naruto, wait, is why he has to be so impulsive. When Sakura burst into the other guest room, she collided directly with Naruto, who had been standing still. Although she initially intended to punish him for this, she decided against it. When she noticed his sudden change in behavior in response to being hit, Naruto politely stepped aside, looking at his feet, as if embarrassed, asking in a low voice, oh Sakura, I'm sorry, are you okay? Wanting to lighten the mood, Sakura gently pushed his forehead. Naruto, with her finger, guiding him to look directly at her, she asked as she pushed him, why were you here? So anyway, effectively under a spell, Naruto responded, and was going to talk to Kakashi-sensei, but he is asleep. At that moment, a voice from the side announced, I'm wide awake. The genin turned their attention to the voice and discovered that Kakashi had gotten up and sat on the mattress they had provided for him. He made a sign, come here, and wake up Sasuke. He needs to hear this too. Sakura, he avoided this last task by gently pushing Naruto towards the other mattress. Naruto's first instinct was to wake Sasuke up with some kind of violent act. Maybe a heart attack shouldn't bother him like that, especially when he's bedridden. In a double instead, Naruto knelt down, placing one hand on Sasuke's shoulder and the other on the other side of his chest. He shook the boy in a hurry, demanding him wake up, and sensei wants to say something. Sasuke was audibly frustrated as he grunted a little before opening the door eyes and turned to Naruto. He responded, there is only one in this room, and he has blonde hair. Yes, well, Kakashi shouted, enough. I need to talk to all of you. The Hoi murmured but obeyed when Kakashi explained that man with the we fought yesterday, his name is Zabuza Momochi, is a Class A rebel born in the Hidden Mist. He killed each of his classmates before abandoning his village. The genin shuddered. We were really lucky. No, Kakashi added, team, I want you to pay attention to what I am going to say. The genin focused their attention on the man as he continued speaking. His face became cold and severe. What Naruto did yesterday was directly disobeying my orders. It was at best subordination, and at best the worst reason for suspension. Shinobi activity. If I ever, and I mean ever, give an order like that again, just let me and obey, Naruto protested. But you were the one who told us that the team matters more than the mission. Kakashi argued it was a stupid thing to say. I could have gotten you killed, but no one died enough. Naruto, I won't let you or Sasuke or Sakura sacrifice themselves for me. Oh yeah, well, if we had run that other guy that showed up would have caught us, and then we really would have died. Did you know that it would appear? What is it that matters? Based on the knowledge you had, it was a suicide mission. Trying to free me. Naruto's voice began to crack. But no, I just tried it. I did it. Kakashi stood his ground, defying a direct order. Tears were falling. Damn. Your orders, no, they mean A to me. I'd rather die than follow someone blindly. Naruto stormed out of the house, skipping breakfast and running straight into the deep forest, throwing respect into the wind. Sakura groaned, what the hell, sensei? Do you know Naruto is sensitive? Kakashi sat back and responded, it's a test of his determination. I need to know if he'll stick to his principles, even if he's ordered to betray them. Sakura hissed, what a test it is. You're just hurting his feelings. Yes, his feelings have been hurt, and his pride is hurt. But he stood his ground and refused to surrender. The greatest test of one's principles is when those principles are challenged by authority, whether it be society or a superior like me. Kakashi then changed the subject. Now, Sakura, you have work to do. Yes, when you finish breakfast, put on your coat and go to the bazaar. Buy Naruto something he likes. He will surely return in the afternoon. Then watch the bridge until the workers leave, or until I tell you what comes first. Sakura obeyed, although she gave a small humph to show her disapproval of her sensei's behavior. I hope Naruto is okay. A few minutes later, being sure that Sakura was gone, Sasuke decided to rip off a certain bandage conversation with Kakashi. He openly asked Sensei, "It was you who murdered my family." Kakashi asked Urito, "What possesses you to ask me that?" Sasuke told him, "You have a Sharingan. The man who killed my family also has the Sharingan." Kakashi asked, "But it was not your own testimony the definitive proof that revealed that your own brother was the murderer?" Sasuke replied, "Yes, but it still doesn't make sense." Tears began to flow. "My own damn brother murdering everyone I love? That's crazy. I know it's true in my heart, but I prefer to accept any other person to anyone but him." Kakashi remained silent in the village. Even through the heavy coat he had put on, Sakura felt the strong wind of the land of the waves hitting against her body. Fortunately, she found the bazaar with ease since it was the most populated area in the country of waves with a small crowd throughout the tour. He entered a general store and wondered if Naruto would like some kind of trinket here. There is almost nothing. The store was little more than a counter, 4 shelves, and local ornaments including a gun on the wall, bells hanging on the shelves, and a porcelain fish. Sakura saw a necklace out of the corner of her eye and headed straight for it. It was a fake shiny sapphire and hexagonal with a simple black thread that held it in place. Naruto would really like this, plus he couldn't always get the real thing on the hidden blade with the same ease. Instead, he chose to approach the oddier. A very lanky old man asked the employee, "Excuse me, could you help me find something to buy as a gift?" The man grunted, "Of course, who can I ask?" Sakura answered, "He's a boy. I don't like him or anything, but that's beside the point." The man insisted, "Well, tell me about him. Maybe I'll think of something." Girl told him, "Well, he's a little hyperactive. He's impulsive, cheeky, and sometimes irresponsible, but he's also a little smart in his own right and can be deceptively sweet." I don't like him." The old man nodded, suggested, "You were looking at the sapphire before. A girl like you should know it's fake." "But it's not him." "Thought what you're saying." Sakura asked, "Hey, what do you mean by a girl like me?" The man responded, "With all due respect, you are here like a sore thumb. Anyone and your blind and dying mother could see that you come from a better place." Sakura replied timidly, "Well, I'll buy the necklace and stop bothering myself." After leaving the store, Sakura started walking towards the bridge, taking note of the people around her. Everyone else is wearing simple, clean clothes that fit well. I'm not doing what same, although I guess cashmere isn't the norm here. It's not like it's everywhere in Idenlu." While she was lost in thought, Sakura suddenly felt a hand touching her, but her first instinct was to turn around and lash out at the aggressor. "Hey, what do you think you are?" Oh, the supposed groping was actually a much smaller child, disheveled and pleading for change. "I can't just ignore a small child. But isn't this a fairly common scam around these parts? Guardians who send their children to pretending to be poor and taking money from unsuspecting pedestrians." At that moment, Sakura was hit on the shoulder by a girl only a few years older than her. The older girl told her, "Hey, you should be careful with this one. He and his mother scammed 50 are from a blonde dressed in orange and without clothes to wait for it. It's crazy. I know. I asked the guy about it, and he just said it's okay. At least it means he's not actually sick or poor." The kid has no sense of fiscal responsibility. Sakura thanked the girl for the warning, and each boy separated. Blonde, naked, and dressed in orange. Now that I think about it, Naruto was only wearing his normal vest when he ran out, and it wasn't 50 the exact amount of money he received as a cash bonus. "I can't believe that gave it away like that." Sakura imagined the vision of Naruto taking all that money out of his frog wallet, and a warm smile took over her face. "Well, onto the bridge. I can't wait for them to finish." For today in the forest, Naruto dragged his feet through the forest. "While I was crying, I'm so stupid, 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 stupid. Could just die. It's so cold." He could. When he found a clearing in the forest, he felt the presence of another person nearby. After pushing aside some bushes, he saw a young woman bending over a basket picking plants in a wide open plain. All she's wearing are sandals and a sleeveless summer robe. She's crazy. On the other hand, I don't think she's better. But how would she know it was going to be so cold here? Without wanting to seem rude, Naruto approached the girl. He asked, "Hey, miss, can I help you?" The girl turned around and quickly hid her expression of surprise when she saw Naruto. She responded with a voice that was as feminine as possible. "I'm a boy." Naruto's eye twitched. "That's a boy. He's even more feminine than Sakura." "He is gay," the boy announced. "And no, I'm not gay. I'm straight as an arrow." Naruto blushed. He cleared his throat and asked again, "Ask whatever can I help you, sir?" The mysterious boy answered, "I think, sir, it's too formal. Call me Aku later. Of everything is my name." Having calmed down a little, Naruto squatted down next to Aku and asked him, "Very well, Aku, what are you looking for?" Aku told him yarrow. "It is a plant that is used for medicinal purposes. Although too much can make you sick. Look for a flower that is white or pink and put it in the basket." Naruto answered yarrow very well as he knelt down to look for and pick the plants. "Yarrow, yarrow, yarrow. Why is it called yellow if it's pink?" Aku broke the silence, saying, "I know it's funny that it sounds like yellow when it's white or pink." Naruto, he pouted. "This guy is reading my mind. Is that a gay power or something here?" He added, "And no, I'm not reading your mind. I'm just good at guessing what people are like and what they're thinking." Naruto responded with disdain, "Yes, I figured. If you could read my mind, you would have also had to tell me it's not a gay power." Aku scoffed, "I'm not gay." Naruto, the blonde, argued, "I bet you have naked boy magazines under your bed." Aku replied, "I sleep on the floor." Naruto replied, "Then you are probably hiding them in the secret compartment of the gay boy." "Oh yeah, well Either I can't think of anything, too busy having homosexual thoughts, not violent thoughts, violently homosexual." Aku stifle his laughter. "You just pick up the plants, man." Both boys laughed out loud as they placed a little more Milan Rama into the basket. Aku cleared his throat and said, "Very well, I think this is more than enough. Take a handful." I think you could use some. When Naruto Abetaku got up Naruto-lu, he handed over the basket and asked him, wait, who do you need the yarrow for? The older boy responded, someone I care deeply about. Very good. Goodbye. Goodbye. Naruto. Naruto watched as Egu continued on his way. I never told him my name. But he told me, he said twice. And how do you know I have someone sick to take care of? I should have put a flying thunder mark on him. But where and how would I cover the bleeding hand? Maybe it's better that I haven't tried anything. Naruto's blood boiled. Silently, I have the resources to pop this torque and pair, but I'm too weak for it. God help me. Naruto's thoughts conflicted as his eyes turned to the yarrow. I don't really care, the bastard, but maybe Sasuke could use some of this medium on the bridge. The bridge under construction was 3/4 of the way along at both ends. A long, wide gap remained to be built, and bridging it was the last task that had to be carried out. It would have been done sooner if the Tazuna I was supervising did not have issues. Work. A nervous man of about 30 years old approached Tazuna. Hey, Mr. Ono, I was thinking that it was time for a break. Tazuna responded, and I'm not a tyrant, you know. You're free to go. The man responded, Mr. Ao, no, I meant break up as in I know what you mean, just leave. The young man bowed. He said sorry, Tazuna, and slipped away. Sakura asked her client Tazuna what was that. He replied, these men have families to feed and my money doesn't put food on the table fast enough. So they leave. I've lost count of how many times this has happened. When I noticed that Tazuna was digging his knuckles into her palms, Sakura asked, are you okay, Tazuna? He told her, oh, of course. Not only do I wish men had a minimum of faith in myself, it kills me to see them give up. Sakura absorbed his words. What happened in this place? The rest of the day on the bridge passed without incident. While all the workers went home around sunset, Sakura took Tazuna's hand and allowed him to guide her back to her. When they got home, they went in and took off their shoes. Tazuna shouted, I'm home. Kakashi, dressed in a robe while lying on the sofa, greeted, hello, Tazuna. Tazuna's smile faded. Is my robe the one she is wearing? Sakura jumped towards Kakashi. Sensei, Naruto is already back. Kakashi shook his head. No, but I should come back right now. Just when Kakashi finished his sentence, Naruto burst into the house, stopped, placed the yarrow on the hall table, and took off his shoes before running across the floor again. Walked around the ground floor of the house before heading to the kitchen. Tsunami was late for dinner. No, Naruto, you're just in time. Kakashi smiled and said to Sakura, a boy has to eat. Sakura frowned. Browse newcomer community for Vane's history search. Anime bar manga / anime / Naruto / anime bar Naruto / more. So he knew when he was going to return. Naruto, what an idiot. Dinner time. While the group was finishing their dinner, Tazuna took the opportunity to apologize to Kakashi. Said, Kakashi, the bridge will still take a while to build. He's putting pressure on us. Naruto intervened. I won't rip off his balls to cats and tries to mess with you. Sakura asked him, do you even know where the bridge is? Naruto sank in his chair, squeezing out the knowledge. While most of the group laughed, Yari hit the table. He complained, shut up, really? You think you can confront Cat? You are not a hero. No one can stop him. His tears welled up in his eyes. In response, Naruto got up and approached Inari. He scolded him, while he himself cried, you are a very stupid child. Don't complain about, and crying won't change anything. At least we're trying something instead of feeling sorry for ourselves. Kakashi admonished Naruto. Sit down. Naruto shivered as he looked at Kakashi before running out of the house again. As Inari came up, running up the stairs followed by his mother, Kakashi stated he could benefit from not being such a brat. Sakura scoffed, how could you be so cold? To Naruto, sensei, can you sit here and wait? I'm going to go drag him back here. She stomped her way to grab his raincoat, and walking to the rainforest alone with Tazuna. Kakashi added, he wasn't talking about Naruto. Inari's room. Inari sat on his bed, depressed. Stupid shinobi. They are nothing, they are less than nothing, and they are stupid. The door creaked open and Kakashi walked in. Listen to Inari. We have to talk. I guess you think we shinobi consider ourselves some kind of superheroes, right? More like stupid heroes. Kakashi leaned towards the edge of the bed. I'll tell you right now that nothing could be further from the truth. Is my Rubio Genin is especially naive. It's not in his nature as a child. Right? I'm just here to do my job, which is to keep your uncle alive until that bridge is over. The boy complained, and what's up with that? You're just a stupid robot with a stupid Genin. Kakashi chuckled. Teeth. Naruto may present an aura of naivety, but the fact is that he is more Asian than any other child his age. He has been through some pretty tough things, and in fact, he used to be a bit of a crybaby, like you. What kind of things? Kakashi's voice softened. There are many people in our home village who hate him for something that is not his fault. That's all I can tell you. Don't feel like ruining the innocence you have left. The point is that Naruto used to cry over and over again. Time to time. Respect. Well, what changed? He realized that simply crying does not leads nowhere. Meaning, if you need to cry, make sure you find a solution to whatever makes you cry. Your head is always spinning around solutions. Well, that's better than being a stupid half-hero. Hour later in the forest, Sakura walked through the forest, the rain hitting her jacket and her cap. She should have brought an umbrella. I swear I will kick Naruto's ass when I find him. As she walked through some bushes towards a clearing, she saw Naruto crying in her arms, sitting on the base of a tree. Upon closer inspection, noticed that blood marked the tree, as if something had been dragged through it at various intervals. I was trying to climb those trees. We learned that it had been a long time since I should have a hard time unless the rain makes things different. She walked towards the crying boy and knelt in front of him. She cooed, "Hey Naruto, stop crying, go back to the house." "Okay," Naruto groaned, "is that damn Kakashi-sensei has made me been making you feel like trash all day." Sakura's heart sank. "Poor boy, I really took sensei's teachings to heart," she assured him. "Look Naruto, that was just sensei's stupid way of testing your principles, or whatever. He's prouder about you than you think I am too," Naruto added and looked at Sakura. Seriously, Sakura caressed his cheek. "Yes, really, now get up, you're going to catch a cold." She grabbed his arms and guided him to stand up. As soon as he got up, he hugged her tightly and cried openly on her shoulder. She immediately hugged him back and said, "I'm here for you, Naruto. Whenever you need a shoulder to cry on or an ear to listen to, you can trust me." Naruto hugged her tighter until the point that it was almost painful. His crying slowly subsided as Sakura breathed deeper to stay calm. Suddenly, Sakura felt him weaken, but she managed to catch him before he could fall. "He fell asleep again," she sighed, maneuvering her body so that he could turn around, "allowing you to pick him up once more and carry him on your back. You have to stop doing this." 20 minutes later, when the light of Tazuna's house came into view, Naruto gradually walked away. Waking up, he slurred, "Where am I?" Sakura replied, "Did you fall asleep on me again, idiot?" Naruto replied, "Oh, sorry." He quickly jumped off Sakura's back and landed on his feet. He yawned and stretched before proclaiming, "This well, I have to go to the shower again." No, Sakura also yawned and said to him, "You're not the only one." She wiped his face, wiping away the moisture that was left from his tears. "Let's go inside." When they entered the house, after taking off their shoes, they ran to the study where Kakashi was reading a book. Still wearing the Tazuna robe, Naruto hid behind Sakura, holding onto her arm, not wanting to face his sensei. Kakashi motioned, "So what have you been doing all day, Naruto?" Naruto stammered, "I have nothing to talk to Tsunami." He ran to the kitchen where Tsunami, "I was preparing tea." He asked, "Hey Tsunami, do you know a girly-looking boy named Fuka?" "No, Aru." Naruto, "No, wait, that's me." "Oh yes, Aku, you know a questionable boy. Idas something about him." The boy, he responded with a lie of omission, "Well, he's just a guy I met in the wild. I was curious about him. Maybe you could ask your sensei." "No way, he'd probably say something stupid, and he'd make me feel like a for asking about what I matter can sit on a cactus if you say so." Silence quickly filled the air. Naruto turned around as Tsunami stared at him, almost as if waiting for him to continue the conversation. The boy started to blush. "This is awkward, but I can't just leave. That would be bad. Education alone, I need a legitimate excuse." Naruto screamed, "I have to go take a shower." He ran out of the kitchen and ran up the stairs to the second floor of the house. When he reached the hallway, he decided before taking a shower, so he ran towards the bathroom door and opened it only to collide with Sakura's back. While Naruto recovered, he saw that Kakashi was standing in front of the shower door all in his robe and with his arms crossed. "I'm sure you've been asking why Inari is so dumb," Naruto answered. "Really, no. And what's the problem blocking the bathroom?" Sakura closed Naruto's lips. "Don't even go there, Naruto. You wouldn't believe the filth that comes out of this man's mouth." Then she let him go, leaving Naruto stunned and confused. Kakashi continued, "Now I'm sure you've noticed that Inari has no father. This is not because Jesus Christ is the father of Inari. Tazuna Kaisa's son was a clandestine rebel against Gato. The man who rules this land always told him, Inari, to fight for what is right no matter what, and that this perseverance would lead him to win over his companions and be successful in life." In a few words, Kaisa was found and captured by Cat, tortured and dismembered, and crucified in the town square. Despite the execution public, no one helped Kaisa, nor has there been justice until now for Inari. This created the perception of justice as a falsely understood ideal. Naruto shrugged his shoulders. "What does that have to do with us?" Kakashi sighed. "I want you to two together with Sasuke prove that justice exists in this world. I will train you starting tomorrow and rotate the guard shifts on the bridge until it is finished. I have spoken with Tazuna. Cat is not supposed to be aware of what this bridge will do for him." Wave country, Naruto scoffed. "It sounds like nonsense to me," Pseudopolyps answered. "Of course you know, there should be a shorter word for that." Sakura blushed. "Totally there is, but I'm not going to say it." As the two hugged again, Naruto snuggled up and clung to Sakura as he began to sink into the soft warmth that emanated from Sakura. He began to speak and Sakura tensed up. What is he going to say? She waited for him to finish the sentence, but no such thing happened. Instead, she felt that he was weakening once again. "I swear he was falls asleep first on purpose." Sakura sighed and walked over to Naruto, unconsciously giving him a kiss on the cheek before resting her head. "Why did I just do that?" The next morning, while Naruto and Sakura were getting dressed for the day, Kakashi was at the door. "Grab your coats today. We are going to do some outdoor activities." Naruto told him timidly about that. "I forgot to bring a jacket." Kakashi stared at him. "Then your punishment for carelessness is freezing." Sakura intervened. "Wait, don't me. I really like the idea, but Naruto, you can wear one of my jackets." "Okay." Naruto stuttered. "Peek, a girl's jacket? No way." Kakashi rolled his eyes. "Well, my coat, it wouldn't fit you just like Tazuna's or Tsunami's from Inari, and we all know for sure that Sasuke won't be so charitable, so either you will use Sakura's coat or she will freeze. It's your choice, Naruto muttered. There aren't many options. Kakashi smiled and replied, I'll be waiting downstairs. As he left the room, Naruto turned to Sakura and said embarrassedly, thank you for I can borrow your jacket. Sakura joked, it's a pleasure. Imagine the black mark on my record if I let a teammate freeze to death on the riverbank. An hour later, the team did watch the river flow calmly. Kakashi was wearing a Sasuke was wearing a cashmere sweater. Naruto and Sakura were wearing matching pink button leather coats. Kakashi announced, today we will learn to walk on water. To demonstrate it, he walked into the water shallow to the other end of the shore. He turned around and said to the Chūnin, go easy. Naruto and Sasuke immediately fixed their vision on Sakura. Upon noticing this, the girl moaned, well, I will go first, being careful to start with one foot. He stepped into the water. So far so good. Then he put the other foot in the water and almost sank. Fortunately, however, he avoided panic. He recovered it and balanced it. Then he ran across the river to stand next to Kakashi and said, what I managed. Sasuke complained, she just has a good chakra control. Kakashi responded, this is not just good chakra control, Sasuke. Sakura is an expert in logistics. Even I need to make sure I consciously balance my chakra when I do this. Naruto approached the river, analyzing the flow before intervene. He opted for an investigation. He asked Sakura, hey Sakura, how is this different from climbing a tree? Sakura responded, well, a tree is a solid surface, so it does not change shape. That makes it easier to balance the chakra since it is a worth constant and unchanging. Water is liquid and constantly changes shape, so you need to feel the changing flow and fluctuate your chakra based on that. Naruto groaned, this is going to be difficult. Kakashi told him, nothing good is easy. Blonde sighed, whatever, swallowed really well. I just got the sole of her foot to the surface of the water despite her best efforts. Otherwise, her foot just sank after being held for less than a damn second. He sighed, heaved the foot back and tried to fix it to the surface of the water, just like before his foot sank into the water. How am I going to do this? The shape of the water keeps changing. Kakashi spoke, keep trying, Naruto. You too, Sasuke. Then Sasuke also took a step forward to try walking on water. He scoffed, tch, no, it should be as hard for me as it is for this moron. Naruto replied, then do it now, unless you're scared. Sasuke replied, we both know who is the coward between the two of us. Walked forward and accidentally imitated Naruto, as so Sasuke found himself unable to walk on water. Naruto scoffed, it seems like you're just as bad at this as me. Sakura prompted, anyway, I got it first. Kakashi ordered, then do it for the next half hour. Sakura pouted. Half an hour later, as Naruto and Sasuke continually tried and failed to walk on water, Sakura had made dozens of laps back and forth, resting occasionally to cope with the exhaustion. When she returned to the end of the river where they were trapped, Naruto and Sasuke. Naruto approached. She looked around as if someone might be listening for added security. She put her hands together and leaned all the way in. Speaking softly, she whispered, Sakura, do you have any advice for this? Following the current of the boy, Sakura imitated his actions and whispered to him, for lack of a better phrase, you have to accept the changing flow instead of forcing yourself to adapt to it, or vice versa. I know it sounds confusing, but when you understand below, it will make sense. Naruto sighed, I will try, thank you, Sakura. Kakashi shouted, Sakura, go to the Tazuna Bridge. Your training is over for now. Tazuna Bridge. When Sakura arrived at the Tazuna Bridge, she was visibly surprised. He asked, Tsunami told me that you and your team were training. What's up with you here? Where are the other little ones? Sakura ruffled her hair and said, I've surpassed them. That's right, Sensei said, my training for the day is over. The man joked, oh, it was a dishwashing lesson that caused some nearby workers to panic. Laugh at laughter. Sakura put her hands on her hips and scolded them, hey, that's existed. Tazuna responded, calm down, girl. Everyone in this land makes that kind of jokes. All they have to do is come back. We will respect you for that. Sakura, he snorted a return. How do I get back to the comment about washing dishes? She smiled, very well then. Well, the only reason I had to learn how to wash dishes properly is because Tsunami needs a lot of help to take care of you and your careless behavior of dog. Tazuna stumbled back and put a hand on his forehead, feigning offense. Oh girl, you've given me a complex. I'll need a therapist to cure me of that. Sakura joined in as the men laughed again. Meanwhile, in the forest, a small cabin was hidden in the middle of the forest. There were two guards in front of the door that remained open. Inside, a short, fat man with long hair dressed in a suit and sunglasses admonishes his lawyer. Surrounded by guards, he shouted, Zabuza, bastard, useless. How could you let yourself get hurt when we are so close to riches beyond our imagination? They don't pay you enough. You want me to take the boy for myself? In front of the man, Zabuza was lying on a leather mattress while Aku was kneeling on the other side, tending to him. Zabuza responded calmly, your fat tits cat better be hurt. Already gives me ample opportunity to plan and prepare for the reappearance of that damn Kakashi. Plus, I'll be up and ready just in time for your stupid plan. Time of fun, few if you don't do it all, so we have been working. He will go to the He turned and left the room with his guards in and out, following him. After the men left, Zabuza turned to Aku. You did well keeping your sword, boy. You see how well everything is going when you listen to me. Aku replied, of course. Zabuza sunset. As Sakura had already showered before dinner, Naruto found himself able to comfortably waste time inside the bathtub of the guest room's bathroom. While the gears of your head started to spin. All this water coming out of the shower head is almost like a mini river, no? And as such, the water will flow like a river, but infinitely smaller. Beyond that, it is a constant flow through. Therefore, Naruto raised his right foot and lowered it just above the water, He tried to balance the chakra in his feet with the flowing water. Euphoria ran through his body when he felt the sole of his foot stick to the water, as if it were Eureka adhesive. Now, if the logic follows. Naruto raised his foot left and way similar, he lowered it over the water, balancing his chakra again. The sensation before insertion. It should be familiar. This will be easier than the other foot, however. Just when he felt his foot almost sticking to the water, bang, 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 Sasuke yelled through the door, "Hey, dinner is almost ready, get your ass out of the shower." After this, a loud thud was heard coming from the shower. Naruto had tripped and fallen. "Be stupid, Sasuke. Stupid, stupid, stupid Naruto," he yelled at